Hello everyone. Today is Friday. It's July 4th. Happy 4th of July to everybody. It's currently 8:01 Texas time. Um Tonight I was supposed to talk about the Golden State Killer, but since, the recent flooding that happened last night into like the early morning today and still happening now, here in the hill country of Texas, I said let's change the subject. Let's talk about that tonight, and we can always talk about the Golden State Killer a different day, or like I'll probably be live till I kind of want to do a 2 hour stream. So if we get what we need to talk about for tonight, then maybe I'll talk a little bit about the Golden State Killer. But if not, I will make him his own podcast. I don't know when, but I'll pick a day and we'll go from there. I know tomorrow I'm live again. We're going to talk about The Boy in the Box. But I kind of just want to come on today and bring awareness to what's happening here in Texas. We got hit with heavy rain. Where I am, we got some rain, but not a lot of rain. Mostly drizzle. Over in the a little bit of north of me in the hill country, I know they got so much rain where it flooded out and everything. So I do want to bring awareness to that, and I'm gonna be posting if you know anybody who lives in Kerrville, or you have people who are in Kerrville, I'm gonna put out resources, the number you guys can call, so you guys can see if you're missing family members there. Especially with pets. I know a lot of people are missing pets. I have some resources for that too. Let me tell people I'm live, because I don't think people know I'm live, because I'm live early. Real early. I have a little time, so I'm kind of might as well just come on live. Hold on. Let me put this on Discord. Okay. So let's get on into it. I had to deep dive into everything tonight. My heart, prayers, and condolences go out to everyone out in Kerrville, Bandera, all the places that are flooded, to the people who lost their loved ones. I know they said there was 13 fatalities, and there was, I think, 20 plus CAT members missing. Besides the CAT members, I think there's so many other people that are missing as well. So I hope they're found, and I hope they're okay, and I hope they're safe. Hi, Darlene. How are you? How's your 4th? I decided to stream today because I don't know. I don't really celebrate 4th of July. It doesn't feel the same no more. With everything going on in the world, kind of just want to be home. And then, this happened in Texas. So I was like, you know what? Might as well just go live and talk about it. So, and this is live updates. So CNN is always putting updates. So is the news here. Let's watch this video.
I ain't ever seen no demon, no ghost, no magic till now.
Let me know if you guys can hear the video. I muted it because I don't want to play.
We will do everything humanly possible 24/7 looking at every tree, turning over every rock, whatever it takes, if your child is one of those truly missing and not just out of touch, to find your daughter.
You're vacationing in New York? Nice. How is it over there? Are they doing like a 4th of July thing over there in New York? So that's what's going on over in San Angelo, Kerrville County. Lots of heavy rain. It did mention 20 girls are unaccounted for at Camp Majestic. There is, I have a lot of Facebook posts where people are like, I haven't seen my neighbor, I haven't seen so-and-so, I haven't seen this person. So I do have all that. No vacation? What do you mean? You didn't go on vacation? Let me get the next article. So yeah, I do have like the resources. So like if you know anybody who's out in Kerrville who's missing, or if you have friends who are out in Kerrville that are missing, I have the number. Don't call 911. They're issuing for people not to call 911 to ask about their missing loved ones. They want you to call this non-emergency number. And I'm going to get it so you guys can see it.
Line probiotic was specific.
So you guys can see it. So if like you know anyone who's missing family, you can call that number and see if they can help. This is just basically like the flooding. And this happened like 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Summer is here.
It happened at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and it's been going on since early morning hours till like still a little bit now. Okay, that was just a video. Visiting two BFFs, been together since kindergarten. Aww. Nice. I hope you guys are having fun. Your girlies, you're catching up and everything. Be safe out there. So before in the morning hours, they said there was 6 confirmed deaths. It ended up rising, and now there's 13 confirmed deaths over in the Kerr County flooding. Huge flooding. The Guadalupe River flooded out, and now they're saying that the water is trying to find its way to the other rivers. But here's some of the pictures. We'll come back and check out these pictures, and my internet's going down. I don't know why my internet does that around this time. And then we can kind of look at like the live thing that the news are saying. If my computer doesn't. Okay. So, trying to exit the video. So, if my computer stops moving. So, local officials say that 13 people have been confirmed dead after severe flooding ripped through Kerr County, with homes, campsites, and RVs being destroyed by rushing water. Local campsite and summer camps have been severely impacted, with Camp Majestic reporting 23 campers unaccounted for after floodwaters swept through the camp. It's happening in Kerrville, Texas. So Texas Hill Country was beset by death and disaster Friday after multiple fatalities were reported from months worth of heavy rain that fell in a matter of hours, leaving such teams to conduct boat rescues as fast-moving water threaten riverfront communities and children's summer camps. So they've been looking for people for a good amount of time now. I know right now they're still they're picking up campers at Camp Majestic by vehicle, by helicopter, but they're still saying there's 23 campers missing. Besides the 23 campers, there's also civilians missing. I have all that on Facebook. I joined the Kerrville Facebook thing because it has a lot of like resources, like if you're missing a loved one, who you can call, if you're missing a pet, who you can call. So many things. I know a lot of people, like I think a lot of officials from out of state, like Houston, Dallas, and all that, they're coming here to Kerrville to come and help people. I know a lot of here from San Antonio are going out and helping people as well. And just when you think like we might not have no more rain, turns out we're getting another heavy rain tomorrow morning. Here in San Antonio, we live in San Antonio, we're getting rain, but not that much rain. It's more in the hill country that they're worried about more flooding. So the Red Cross is assisting with reunification efforts. So if you're trying to locate somebody, you can call this number, the 800-733-2767. If you're missing somebody. I do have one if you're missing a pet or if you find a pet. I have the thing. I'll show you in a little bit. As much as 10 inches of heavy rain poured down in just a few hours overnight in central Kerr County, causing flash flooding into the Guadalupe River. Let me see what you guys are saying. I have like 2 screens open, so I can't really see. Hi, Texas girl. Janelle, hello. 20-year-old girls from that camp are missing. Yeah, they're missing. I shared your channel. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Residents of Comal County are now being urged to evacuate low-lying areas near Kendall/Comal County line near the Guadalupe River. This is a post from Comal County, basically saying it's a flood warning going on. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're still under a flash flood warning until tomorrow. Where I live, ours was lifted like an hour ago because we're getting more like drizzle. We're not getting like heavy rain like over in Kerrville. But they said tomorrow we're supposed to get hit with like heavy rain. So we'll see. It's supposed to be like tomorrow, like an 11. But there's going to be another batch of heavy rain hitting Kerrville again tomorrow. So if you live in Kerrville, I suggest that you evacuate just because it's flooded now. If you're going to hit rain again tomorrow, I suggest you evacuate. Take your pets. Take what you can. Try to evacuate or try to go somewhere where there's a shelter where it won't get flooded out, because I think a lot of roads are flooded out. But just be safe. And if you are going somewhere, do not go through underpasses. Do not go through small creeks or anything. Turn around, don't drown, like they tell us here in Texas. Turn around, don't drown. Your life is worth more than going to, if you have work, if you're going to go see family, if you're going to go do something. Your life is more important than that. Turn around, don't drown. A mother of one of the kids at Camp Majestic confirms that some of the children are missing. Team conducted dozens of rescues, and the emergency response continued as an unknown number of people remained unaccounted for. People with children and relatives at the area campsite pleaded for information about their loved ones endangered by the flooding. I do have the press conferences. The one that really didn't make sense was when the judge came out and people were like, he's not really giving us that much information. And you would think maybe the judge would have a lot of information. But I think it was early in the morning when he came out. It was probably like 9, 10. So I would think maybe he didn't have that much information to come out and say. But a judge from that local county came out and was talking. I'll show you the press conference of what he said and all the missing people that are still out there missing and people that they're putting on Facebook. So I want to read an encounter from a family. So Aaron Burgess home sits directly across from the river in the Bumblebee Hills neighborhood west of Ingram. When she woke up to thunder at 3:30 a.m. Friday morning, it was raining pretty heavy, but no big deal, she said. Just 20 minutes later, Burgess said water was coming in through the walls and rushing through the front and back door. She described an agonizing hour clinging to a tree and waiting for water to recede enough so that way they were able to walk up the hill to the neighbors. My son and I floated to a tree where we hung onto, and my boyfriend and my dog floated away. He was lost for a while, but we found them, she said. Her 19-year-old son, Burgess said, thankfully he's over 6 feet tall, and the only thing that saved me was hanging on to him. A flood watch issued Thursday afternoon estimated isolated amounts up to 7 inches of rising water that shifted to a flood warning for at least 30,000 people overnight. And when asked about the sadness of the flash flooding, Kelly said, we don't have a warning system and that we didn't know this flood was coming. Even as local reporters pointed to the warnings and pushed them for answers about why more precautions weren't taken, rest assured, no one knew this kind of weather or this kind of flood was coming. He said, we have floods all the time. This is the most dangerous river valley in the United States. I think it just depends on the meteorologist. I know ours here in San Antonio told us since Monday we were going to have heavy rain up in Kerrville, and we were going to get light drizzle here, but to still be on the lookout here in San Antonio as well in case like storms like intensify. They've been saying that since Monday of this week, so I don't know if it's the same meteorologist here to Kerrville. I don't know if the Kerrville meteorologist said anything, but it's very sad. It's very crazy. Check the depth of the water before you drive through. Move to higher ground. Sandbags your property. Yes. The thing is, here in like South Texas, we get flooded a lot. So a lot of people are like, it's no big deal. You know, it's just another flooding. But usually some people are prepared, some aren't. It just depends like on the people. But we do, around this time in July, we usually get like heavy tropical like storms or like little showers, isolated showers from here all the way to like late August, like when everyone goes back to school, and then like from there it starts getting like kind of cool weather, fall vibes. So our weather is bipolar here in Texas. We have some bipolar weather. Our Texas Governor Greg Abbott said the state was providing resources to Hill Country communities dealing with the flooding, including in Kerrville, Ingram, and Hunt. The Texas Hill Country, a scenic and rocky gateway to booming vineyards and vacation rentals, began west of the state capitol, is a popular outdoor summer getaway. Mostly a lot of people go out to the Hill Country and they like to see all the venue, things like that. There's a lot of things out there in the Hill Country. From where I am, I think it's like an hour and a half away from me. So let's go to our next one. I have like really bad allergies. So 23 campers are missing and 13 others are deceased. It's at 9 p.m. We'll speak on Friday at 9 p.m. Okay, what time is it? 8:20? Well, if he comes on at 9, or if he comes on in a little bit, I can stream you the actual press conference if Greg Abbott does come out. I do have the other ones from this morning. So I'm gonna play this video and I'm gonna see if he's really gonna come out. If Greg Abbott does come out and speak about this, I'll live stream it. It's only like in a couple of minutes. So let me play this video.
Watching NBC5 News at 6.
We begin with the frantic search for the 23 young children missing along the Guadalupe River. The flooding happened in the middle of the night in several towns along the river.
People in Kerrville said the water didn't just rise, it swallowed everything in sight. When you look out your front door and you see the Guadalupe River running, it'll wake you up, let me tell you.
This came at night when people were asleep in bed. Please pray for our youth.
Young girls were evacuated by helicopter from a summer camp near the town of Hunt. In Kerrville, the water was so high, SUVs were seen floating by homes. We know at least 13 people have died in the flooding, but many more are missing.
We have seen video of boats, helicopters, and divers across the Guadalupe River. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick says at least 20 girls are missing from Camp Mystic, and about 500 people are helping bring those girls home. NBC5's Ali Spilliards is in Ingram tonight, where one of the reunification centers has been set up. Ali.
Meredith, we are at Ingram Elementary right now. This is the reunification center specifically for the girls from Camp Mystic and their families. And you can see a lot of those families here gathered on the curb behind me, kind of in a waiting pattern. We've also seen pictures of people inside. And then I can tell you that parking lots and streets all over this small neighborhood are lined with cars that are bumper to bumper with families who have driven in from all over the state, some from North Texas, some from out of state, trying to see their children and get a chance to wrap their arms around their daughters. This evacuation process has been rather slow. We're told that the camp has a capacity to hold 750 people. And the problem is a lot of the roads in this area are impassable. And so they have been airlifting the girls out, evacuating by helicopter. Some have been coming in via bus. We also saw a military vehicle earlier bringing those girls in the back. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick did announce just a few hours ago that more than 20 girls are missing. We know at least 2 are from Dallas, but the full list has not been made public. So it is possible that there are even more from our region. We know this camp and its brother camp, La Junta, are very popular with North Texas families. We actually spoke with a couple of parents from North Texas earlier, a mother whose son is a counselor at La Junta and a father whose daughter is one of these girls at Camp Mystic. Both said their children were accounted for, but they talked about the agony of trying to get information today and waiting to find out when and how they could be reunited with their children.
We heard from them how bad it was and that they were getting evacuated. And we saw pictures of Camp Mystic, could see them at 3 o'clock in the morning walking through water. It's scary. You know, it's, when you send your kids to these camps, you just pray nothing goes wrong. And then you hear of a historical flood that's going on. Your imagination kind of runs away with you. But, all you can do is have faith and just hope everything's going to be okay.
Once we're able to get some of those roads clear, when the rain stops, then we have 10 buses ready to go in and pick up the kids, and we'll find a point and announce it at that time where you can be reunited with your child and hug them hard, because they're frightened.
Okay, you can see right now this military truck that I was talking about with who we assume are campers and counselors that came in just a few minutes ago. These are families who are gathering around again, waiting for their moment to be reunited. Back to those missing girls, Patrick did say earlier today that unaccounted for does not yet mean gone. He said there are 9 state teams here with 500 people on the ground. There are helicopters and drones continuing to search. He said they are checking under every rock. They are checking the trees because there were accounts of campers hanging from trees at one point, anywhere where someone could still be holding on and waiting for help. The other big problem here is communication. Cell phone signal has not been strong. Wi-Fi has been down. On top of that, these campers did not have access to cell phones. So there is a hope still that with some of these missing girls that they just don't have the means right now to tell people where they are. we are going to be here on the ground. We'll continue to let you know what we see. Meredith,
Unbelievable.
Brian.
Just the waiting. Allie, will you zoom in, have your photographer zoom in, if you could, to that vehicle as people are arriving? You see
back here.
Yeah, right there. Have you seen a lot of vehicles arrive?
Okay, I have to talk because if not, I might get copyrighted. But when it floods here and there. Last time it flooded this bad, it was back in like 2002. I was like a year old when that happened. Usually when we get like heavy rain, usually like the underpasses of the highways, like the small creeks, they flood out. But I mean, last time before this year, there hasn't been fatalities that I know of. But last rain before today, it flooded out, and I think there was like a couple of people who lost their lives as well. And then today, same thing. 13 people lost their lives. People are missing. It's crazy. It just depends on like the heavy rainfall that we get, and the hill country got hit with like bad storms, and it was like sitting there, like they were just getting piled with rain like almost all night. So it just depends on it really. But the presser, they said it's been pushed back till 10 tonight. So I'm going to stream till past 10 just so I can like show you guys the presser live. Hopefully, I don't know if it's the governor coming out, but hopefully he gives us like some details of what's going on, because it's still going on where they're still rescuing girls from the camp and they're still bringing them so they can get accounted for. They're taking them to the hospital just so they have medical treatment in case something's wrong, things like that. They're still looking for people, but it's now sunset. It's cloudy, so now it's going to be a little bit harder at night. So they say it's not supposed to rain till the morning time, like around 11. So hopefully it doesn't rain anymore, so that way they can go and rescue people. By Sunday, they said it's supposed to be sunny. So we'll see. Thanks. Yeah, don't hear about mini here in Australia. It happens most years on the East Coast. Yeah. Here in Texas, this is the time we get like the tropical storms, the hurricanes. Mostly the hurricanes go mostly to like Houston, Corpus, like the areas where like the water is. So like people in the inland, like I live a little bit inland where this is happening. It's more inland. We don't really get hurricanes. We get like the butt of it. I think if we did get a hurricane, I think it was hurricane, was it Katrina or Harvey? It was one of those two. No, I think Katrina was in New Orleans. It was Harvey. It hit Houston, but we got like the butt, like the little tail of it. So this is the time we start seeing like tropical storms and things like that. Now, if you were to ask me like 3-4 weeks ago when we got like heavy rain with like tornadoes and everything, where I was like freaking out because I was like, I ain't got no basement. Where am I going to go? Then that's a whole different story. We're not used to here where we are. We're not used to tornadoes. That's more like Dallas area, like where they got like the big land and stuff like that. Let me let this finish.
We're assuming these are folks that have been evacuated from right there, the shores of the Guadalupe River, not far from where you are in Ingram, which is down the road from Kerrville. And you just see people kind of arriving with we don't know a lot, right?
Yeah, this is the first one of these vehicles we've seen. We've been driving from DFW all day, so we really just got on the ground, but we did see a lot of helicopters overhead. And then again, we have seen a lot of families coming in. I know a lot of families were waiting to find out what the plan was before they got on the road, because they didn't want to add any more chaos to the situation. Again, the roads here are small. Many were still covered by water, and so they were simply waiting to find out where they needed to be and how they could pick up their children.
Yeah.
But many are here. Again, these reunions are happening, and I'm sure they will continue to happen through the day and probably into tomorrow as well.
Right. And have you been able to talk to people inside Ingram Elementary? I know those are families that are just waiting for any thread of information about loved ones. Are they letting media in? Are you kind of hanging back?
Like I said, we just got here, so we're about to find that out. But from those parents that we spoke with earlier, they've, like you said, it's been every thread of information, and it has been very scattered throughout the day. But I can tell you that all of the parents have been told, if you have not specifically heard from us, your child is accounted for. So I do think there is some confidence and hope here that those who did not get a phone call, that everyone is safe and sound, and they just want to be back together.
Yes. All right, Allie, thank you for your reporting there. Just heart-wrenching watching those people standing around, just waiting for information. I know you're going to stay on top of this. Keep us posted. We'll go back to you as needed. Thank you so much.
Some parents about to have their prayers answered right as those kids are rescued there. The water.
Yeah, being friends with a few Texans over the years, you guys get wicked storms. Heck yeah, we get bad storms. We get storms, but we get no snow. Like, that's the weird part. We get a lot of rain, but we get no snow. We get a lot of drought, but no snow. I would take some snow. Not a lot of snow, but some snow. We would take some of your rain. We need it. You could take it all. I think today we've had enough. We don't need rain for the rest of this year and next year. Don't need no more rain. So this is from the New York Post. It's been updated 6:09, so like 2 hours ago. So at least 13 are deceased, and 2 dozen girls at Christian summer camp is missing. So it's 23 girls who are missing. It ranges from 7 years old to 17. So it's a lot. It's a range of ages. When I was looking at the missing flyer for these individuals who are missing, there was some who were young as like 7 and 8. I even have a video of somebody who was recording a cabin literally picked up with the water, and it's floating away, and there's people in it. I have that somewhere in my notes. So nearly 2 dozen girls at the Christian summer camp are missing and potentially deceased after the cabins were apparently washed away by catastrophic and fatal flooding in Texas that has at least left 13 people dead, officials announced Friday. This is from the New York Post. I'm not going to say that these girls who are missing are deceased. We're just going to say allegedly. But New York Post is saying that. We don't know yet. We can't confirm that. These girls that are not accounted for could be anywhere. They probably went somewhere with other folks, and they're like, hey, can I go with you? I mean, it's flooding. You know, I hope they're okay. I hope they're safe. I hope they're somewhere in high ground, and hopefully they get to the phone and they can call 911 or call somebody and say, hey, I'm okay. You know, I hope they're okay. Even the civilians. I know there's some civilians out there who are missing pets. I hope they're okay. I hope they're well. I hope they're reunited with their family. It is crazy. So it goes on and talks about what we had said. It happened in the middle of the night when literally everyone was sleeping in Kerrville. Okay, this is the one I was going to show you. This is from the Daily Mail. Let me exit that. So I'm gonna stream till like 10:30 Central Time, just so we can see it. Never seen snow in my life. Oh, that's right. You told me you've never seen snow. I've only seen snow once when it snowed heavy here. That was like, what are we, 2025? 5 years ago. Yes, that happens. Houses go floating down the river. Yeah, houses and cars. I was like, whoa, I didn't know a house can swim away. Okay, let me see if it shows me the video of the house where it's floating away. I just had it. And then we'll talk about the victims who are missing. We'll start from the beginning. So for a fact, we know 13 people have been killed. We'll know officially if there's been more deaths reported at 10 o'clock if the governor comes out talking. But I know the news right now is covering this. All news stations are covering it. When I saw the news, they said that one of them, when they rescued one who was deceased, they were completely naked. So the water had washed off their clothes. And they can't identify everyone, so they're doing fingerprint testing to see who they are and if they can contact their family. It's so sad. It's crazy. So the names of those killed have not been shared, but the final death toll is expected to rise substantially as floodwaters recede. So for right now, they're saying it's 13 confirmed, but once the water starts to die down, they'll have the official total if there is more people who are deceased. And the identities of the missing have begun to emerge as stricken families to share photos of their loved ones in hopes of learning information about their whereabouts. Terrified parents of those missing said they had been left in a limbo as they await news from the ongoing searches. With the mother of one missing young camper, Jane Hunt, who is 9 years old, saying, "We're just praying." Officials have stressed that they hope to rescue many of the missing and say that they're still hopeful of finding most of those missing safe and well. But the sheer scale of destruction, with buildings ripped from their foundations and cars swept away like toys, suggests that may be an overly optimistic prediction. Terrified parents left to pray for their missing children as officials step up searches. The mother of missing Camp Majestic camper, Jane Hunt, says she is left in terrifying limbo after her daughter is among the 23 missing swept by flash flooding. "We're just praying." The mother of missing girl, Lainey Landry, who's 9, also told the outlet she was waiting for the news on her brave and sweet daughter. They spoke out as officials said they were stepping up urgent searches throughout Kerr County, particularly at Camp Majestic, multiple campsites along the Guadalupe River. Houston Fire Department said late Friday afternoon it was deploying officers to join the 500 plus people who have joined searches despite being located over 300 miles from the flash flooding in Kerr. So yeah, areas like Houston, I think Dallas, Houston, out west, a lot of the officers are coming here to come and help find these missing people. So this, I believe, is Lainey. So if you are in the Kerr County area and you see little Miss Lainey, please call 911 or please call the non-emergency, I think it's hotline. Tell them you've seen Lainey. Take her to the police station so she can be reunited with her family. Along with the other kids, I have pictures of what they say is everyone, but there's still people who are still missing. It's just their family hasn't came out and said who they are. So I'm going to show you that in a little bit. And then here it shows where they're rescuing somebody. So the parents slammed summer camp for lack of preparedness over inclement flooding. The parents of 2 children who were rescued in the Camp Majestic floods slammed the camp's organizers for lack of preparedness. Serena Aldrich told New York Times that she was thankful her 2 daughters, aged 9 and 12, were rescued during the floods, but said the camp runners should have been ready for the torrential rainfall. They should have been watching the Texas Division of Emergency Management, said Kerr County. Oh, and Kerr County, she said. They were posting stuff yesterday morning. They should have been on top of it. She said her daughters were safe because they were in camps that were on higher ground, but Camp Majestic runs a number of campsites along the Guadalupe River that were overwhelmed by floodwaters. There are still campers missing, Aldrich said in a reunification center where other parents are still waiting for their children to return. Officials say at least 23, mostly children, remain unaccounted for. I agree. Like I said, I don't know if the meteorologist in Kerrville said it was going to flood out. I know here in San Antonio, they've been telling us since Monday of this week that we were going to have rain come in and that the hill country was going to be flooded out. So I don't know if the meteorologist said that, but if he did, I'm sure the camp would have saw it and would have been like, okay, we're not going to go camping. Let's evacuate. Let's go to higher ground. So I don't know. We're still looking for answers and for details. So hopefully when this presser comes on at 10, they'll be able to tell us more information on that. More girls identified as terrified families await news from ongoing searches. A number of missing girls from Camp Majestic flash floods have been identified as their families await news from the ongoing searches. In order, shown below, the girls were identified as Virginia Halls, Annie Flack, Hadley Crossman, Cial Stewart, Winnie Naylor, Linnie McCown, Mary Grace Baker, Molly DeWitt, Sarah Marsh, Anna Margaret Bellows, and Blakely McCory. Officials have not publicly named the girls, and they're only identified via social media at this time. It's not clear if some have been found, with over 700 people in total believed to be at Camp Majestic campsites when flooded waters began. A total of 23 are accounted for. So they're just going to show you pictures of the girls. So this is Virginia Hollis. She was in cabin twin 2. This is the phone number you can contact if you see Virginia. They're so young. They have campers who are young as 7. Next, I think it was, who was it? Annie. So this is Annie. Yeah, Annie Flack. She's an 8th grader. You can call this number. This is Annie. This is, she doesn't have a name. I think it's Hadley Crossman. This is Hadley. They didn't put a number to call, but I'll put that number down below. This is Cial Stewart. You can call this number. This is Cial. I have to find that number. Flash flooding is hard to predict. Yeah, it is. But with heavy rain, they should have been watching river levels. And that's what's weird. Like, the meteorologists here, they watch for all that. They watch for river levels. They watch for hail, lightning strikes. They watch for all that. And we don't live near river. Now in Kerrville, they have the Guadalupe River, Canyon Lake, and all that. So I would assume the meteorologists would know by now, like, okay, let me check the water levels. I'm not blaming the meteorologists, but I'm just saying, like, they should somewhat kind of known. You know what I'm saying? And the camp too, Oh, these poor babies. This is Winnie Naylor. You can call this number if you've seen Winnie. If I'm butchering their name, I'm sorry. This is Winnie. This is Linnie McCow. Oh my gosh, she's so little compared to the other ones. You can call this number. the 512-565-6270. If you've seen Lenny, this is Mary Grace Baker. She was in Cabin Twins. She's from Baymount, Texas. Does not have a number. Let me put that number down below. Let me get it real quick. The number you can call. So this number is going to go to the, well, they have multiple numbers. Hang on. Okay, I'm going to put this one. I'm going to put it on the banner. Department, you can call this number. Remember, don't call 911. You have to call this non-emergency hotline if you're reporting or trying to find out if somebody from your loved ones is missing. 257 8181. Scroll across at the banner. Okay, no. There's the number below. It's gonna flicker through the whole stream. Yes. Tiny. Yeah, she's tiny. Some of them don't have numbers like to call their parents. So just call the number at the bottom. They're saying not to call 911 unless it's like life-threatening, like you need saving. Then you call 911, and they're advising that you stay out of the roads and make space for 911 and any rescuers who are going out there to help people and rescue people. So definitely try to stay out of the roads and don't call 911 unless it's life-threatening. From what the city of Kerrville is saying, you have to call this number that's flickering at the bottom. So this is Molly. She's missing from Camp Majestic. They're so little. If you see her, you can contact her mom at 832-483-1334. You can call her dad at 281-755-1833. Or you can call her aunt at 214-608-9032. This is her. And if I get any trolls, please don't call them and like prank call them or anything. Don't do that. They're trying to look for their daughter. Okay, trolls. I know there's some trolls that like to come and troll. So this is Sarah Marsh. And you can call this number, 210-836-7559. If you've seen Sarah. If you can't get a hold of the family, the Kerrville Police Department number is flickering down on the banner. This is, who is this? This is Anna Margaret Bellows. She's 4 feet 5 inches. She's 80 pounds. She has dirty blonde hair with hazel eyes. You can call this number 713-252-3366. If you've seen Anna, I know some of these pictures are blurry. I have the one on Facebook that has, I think, the girls and people, like civilians, who are missing. This is Blake McCory. She was in Camp Majestic. She was in Cabin Twin Ones. Message me. So you can message her mom, I'm guessing. This is her Instagram. Joanne Douglas, 1981. She didn't put her number out. So if you see, who's this again? Blakely. Message her mom. I'm assuming this is her mom. Then, oh, I guess they only showed a little bit of the girls. Okay. So another missing Texas girl is identified by her devastated school. Another of the 24 people missing from the girls' summer camp has been identified as Greta Toranzo. Toranzo was identified late Friday afternoon by her school, the Sinclair Elementary School, which said it was devastated to share the news. Her parents have asked that her picture be shared far and wide as they search for her. The school said, please keep Greta and her family in your thoughts. So this is Greta Toronzo. They don't have a number to call family, but you can definitely call the number that's flickering down below if you see Greta anywhere. Just like along with the other girls we saw, you can, if you don't feel comfortable calling the family or messaging them, you can always call the Kerrville Police Department number that's flickering at the bottom. So families have given a glimmer of hope as a group of unidentified Texas girls rescued from floods. A photo has emerged online appearing that to show a group of girls who have been rescued for the torrential floodwaters which rose and inundated their campsites. In the image posted on Facebook, the girls looked frightened as they sat on the floor of a local firehouse. These young girls were reported from Camp Majestic and shares in hope to link with girls with their parents. Someone posted this on Facebook. It says these girls are rescued and waiting at a fire station. If anyone knows their family, I'm sure they are trying to contact family, but sharing here just in case word of mouth moves faster. So if you know any of these girls, I know it's kind of blurry, but if you know any of these girls, if they're one of your friends' family members, they're at a local fire station. Hopefully they're reunited with their family. Officials admit flash floods came as a surprise over 4th of July weekend. Texas officials admitted they were not prepared for flash flooding over 4th of July weekend in Kerr County. We didn't know this flood was coming. Judge Rob Kelly, the chief elected official in Kerr County, said at a news conference on Friday. He added the county does not have any warning systems for flash flooding. And then thousands left without power as torrential flooding overwhelms Texas County. So over 2,700 people have been left without power in Kerr County, Texas, after torrential flooding washed out the area. A spokesman for the county said Friday afternoon that it's going to take a while for power to be returned to residents. It comes as at least 13 people lost their lives in the flooding, and with at least 23 other people missing. Many of the missing are feared to be young girls at a summer camp that was overwhelmed by flooding overnight. It didn't show me the video that I was trying to show you guys, which was this video. I don't know why it didn't show me this video, but apparently it was a cabin. It doesn't say what cabin or where it was from that floated off in the distance with the river, with the flooding. It didn't show that video. Is this a live update of the weather? Hold on. While I'm looking at this, I'm looking at the weather too. Y'all guys want to see the weather with me?
Directors who were amazing. They were amazing, keeping us on the air, keeping you informed. And they have a thankless job, so I give them that.
So this is the official, well, ours. Let's see the weather update. Well, let's see this one first. Let's see a little bit of weather. Let's hope I don't get copyrighted. Don't copyright me. Oh, okay. Hang on. Are you playing? Oh, it's loading. While it's loading, let me read your comments.
This would be the biggest medical breakthrough in centuries. But we need samples from living dinosaurs.
We want to take
and through tomorrow, So we will be keeping you posted. Full team coverage. I'm so proud of this Ken's team. I've never been more honored to be a part of this incredible team than what I saw them do today. Incredible, selfless, amazing coverage. And I really want to honor all of the folks. I'll be posting some pictures of them shortly that you don't see. The people behind the scenes, our producers.
So as you can see, it stopped. It's a little bit of showering. I'm right here. This is mostly where the impact happened. So it's kind of like an hour and a half away from where I am. But you can see the weather's kind of, the rain has died down. I don't know if he's gonna show us later models. But it does say another round of heavy rain is in the forecast. So we are getting some more rain, sadly.
Summer's here. Time to discover new adventures with your AAA membership.
That scared me. The website was talking. Okay. Let's go to the next one. So now we're just going to see some Facebook posts that I have. Some videos that people have shared. Did I say shared? Is that a word? I don't think that's a word. And this is people.
The water's real strong. It'll knock down trees or whatever it's in its way. Stop it. I'm sorry.
Oh man, look at that! Look at it down there. Is that big old log?
Yeah, the trees. Is it better if I turn sideways?
Yeah.
It's too late now. Here it comes. There it goes. Look at that big old tree there. A log. Look at this breaking tree. That's why it's dangerous. Get caught in that.
Still going up?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. It happens fast.
And so which way is it going? Going back?
Yeah, it just came about a minute ago. Yeah, it's heading that way. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Man, that was quick. That was a lot quicker than I've seen.
Exactly. Move, people. It's coming. You see how he looks down and like the river, the water's starting to come up a bit. And like there's people literally standing right here with kids. Move yourself away because that water, it's coming real fast and it's only a matter of seconds when it starts rising up. And it's coming fast. Like you can see where it's coming in a hurry. All the debris. All the It's a word now? Oh my. We've added that word to the dictionary.
And so which way is it going? Going back?
Yeah, it just came about a minute ago. Yeah, it's heading that way.
Yeah, it's already breaking the bank.
Man, that was quick. That was a lot quicker than I've seen.
Okay, now we're gonna go here. This is the official Kerr County Sheriff's Office. They've been posting updates here and there, so we're gonna take a little bit of what they posted. Okay. So let's go to the first post. So that it would be this one from the National Weather Service. So it says Friday, July 4th at 5:10 in the morning. Guadalupe at Hunt continues to rise sharply and has reached the second highest height on record, higher than the famous 1997 flood. This flood wave will continue downstream through Kerrville and Comfort. This is a very dangerous and life-threatening flood event along the Guadalupe River. Move to higher ground, and it has the picture of it. Can I zoom in? I can zoom in. So, oh, I can do big screen? Okay, I didn't know that. So as you can tell, it rose up, what is this, like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning? 5-ish? It rised up. So the major is 22 feet. It rose up to 29.45 feet. And then it's just slowly staying at a, what is this, like a minor-ish, like 10 feet. But it literally just whooped right up to 29.45 feet. That is crazy. And this was what, like last night? 5:09 this morning. So the Kerr County offices, dangerous flooding now on the Guadalupe River and Hunt in western Kerr County. This flood wave will continue downstream. If you are near the water, move to higher ground immediately. Stay clear of low water crossing. Turn around, don't drown. This is Texas motto. Turn around, don't drown. That's what they tell us all the time. Again, they posted, this is a catastrophic flooding event in Kerr County. We can confirm fatalities, but will not release further information until next of kin are notified. Our office is working with a wide variety of local and state agencies to respond to calls and rescues. The entire county is an extremely active scene. Residents are encouraged to shelter in place and not attempt travel. Those near creek, streams, and the Guadalupe River should immediately move to higher ground. If you hear background noises, it's people popping fireworks. I didn't do my disclaimer. Everything I say is all legit, in my opinion. This is for educational and entertainment. That's another word. Entertainment purposes only. I am not responsible for anyone else's action. Wait, before that. I get my sources from trusted resources, news stations, and trusted sources. I'm not responsible for anyone else's comments, actions, their opinions, anything like that. So yeah, I keep forgetting to do my disclaimer. I need to do it in the beginning. So this was 10 hours ago. It's an incident update. There's a reunification center set up at Ingram Elementary School. That's the address. Staging for media as the Hill Country Youth Event Center. There's the address. This was 6 hours ago. The Red Cross is assisting with reunification after this devastating flood. If you are missing someone during this emergency, please call 800-733-2767. That's another one. Let me add this to the clicker down below. How do I edit my... Oh, edit. Oh, god dang it. What am I pressing? Red Cross. Paste. Okay. Scroll, add ticker, add banner, add. Is it because I need to edit Kerrville? No. What am I doing? Oh, save. Hello. Okay, now ticker. There we go. Happy 4th of July and all that jazz. Oh, yeah, happy 4th of July. Did I tell you guys happy 4th of July? I think I did. Type it in your banner. Type in happy 4th of July or the number. That was the last update they had. It was 6 hours ago. Now, this one was sent to me by Craig. Shout out to Craig. He sent me this. So this was 3:30. So according to Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, approximately 23 children are still unaccounted for at Camp Majestic in Hunt, Texas. Hundreds of rescuers are actively searching both on the ground and in the air. The retreat has been left without power, running water, internet connectivity, etc. So then 4 hours ago, they put, as of 4 p.m., 13 people total have been confirmed dead by this disaster. This is from Texas Storm Chasers. Was this the next one? Oh, no, I saw that. Let me pull up the next Facebook post. While it loads, the numbers are going down below if you guys want to see it. Now, before we go to the Facebook post, let's watch the news conference. We're going to start from the beginning. Don't know, I was talking about your disclaimers. I should, right? Oh my God, I didn't think of that. I should do that. You're right. I should make my own disclaimer banner because sometimes I'd be forgetting to say it. So we're going to watch the press conference. This is the one that happened this morning. Happened at 11:04. We're going to watch the pressers and then look at more Facebook posts. So let's play this.
Good morning, everybody. Today has been a really difficult day so far in Kirk County, and we'd like to share with you some information about our response. We are currently in an extremely active scene right now. There are assets deployed across the county to help start the recovery process from this catastrophic flooding. I have with me today much of our command staff, and today you're going to hear this morning from County Judge Rob Kelly and Kerrville Mayor Joe Herring, standing right behind me, about our response. Again, please understand this is an ongoing, very active scene. We're going to give as much information as we can, but please respect the fact we have every single asset possible available to us that has been deployed for this recovery. So with that, we'll open up to a few questions and statements. So statements real quick from Judge Kelly.
Good morning. I want to thank everyone for being here and being part of this response. You need to know that the response is being led locally, but also at the state level with very active participation. I was awakened this morning with a phone call from Nim Kidd, who is the executive director of the Texas Department of Emergency Management. And we were on their radar screen. And as we were walking out of the sheriff's office, we had a call from Senator Cornyn. I've been in touch with both our state senator and our state representative. And we have assets available. There's a lot of discussion about casualties, how many fatalities, a lot of discussion about how many people are missing. And I've been advised not to use any numbers. We do have some numbers, but we're not going to use them at this time. We'll have another meeting. What is it, 3 o'clock? We have another one? Yes, sir. Okay. And hopefully be able to flesh out some of those numbers. But suffice it to say, this has been a very devastating and deadly flood. I happen to live on Highway 39, which was the Guadalupe River this morning. And from the benchmarks from the people that my wife bought the property from years ago, This far surpasses the 87 flood. I'm happy to say that the water did not get in the house. It got my office and fence and the gate and the outbuildings. But when you look out your front door and you see the Guadalupe River running, it'll wake you up, let me tell you. With that, we can confirm that we are jointly working with each other. We don't have specific counts on the number of helicopters or different pieces of equipment at this point. Again, we'll probably try to have a little bit more information about that at 3 o'clock. But what we need is cooperation and prayers. And for the cooperation, if there are any people that are interested in trying to donate anything to help us with this response, please do that with the American Red Cross and identify this event, the Guadalupe River flood, and we'll let them handle that. And with that, I want to introduce the mayor. We share responsibilities. Both I do the county, he does the city, but he is the senior emergency manager for the city. Mayor?
Thank you, Judge. Thank you for being here. My role today is to say thank you. Thank you to the men and women who are working to save lives, save property. This came at night when people were asleep in bed. Please pray for our community. Thanks.
ChatGPT gets 123 million visits a day, and most people still use it like a toy. Here's how.
Jesus, I didn't know I got it. Oh no, poor dude. Lost some office shit. Nah, I shouldn't be me. But I was thinking that. I was like, no one gives a shit about your office shit. Hold on. I think the presser might be coming up. This is the presser. Greg Abbott is supposed to come out and talk. Oh, well, great. It's ended. I was like, wait, they said 10. They said 10 o'clock, not 9. All right, that one went to commercial. They actually showed a live footage of the rain where like those people go out. This is from the story. Where? God dang it. I thought they said 10. Oh, well, we'll watch it when it uploads. Look at the water. Jeez. It's going fast. I'm trying to find the... Oh, she's flying fast. Look at that water. Oh, poor dude. For real. No one cares about his office shit, all right? That shit, you can go to Office Depot and buy yourself your office stuff. Jeez. Let me mute it because that's kind of loud. Look at that water. It is zooming fast. Look at that.
At the moment, but I'm going to be out here for this whole thing. You know, everyone seems to kind of be going about their day casually, taking pictures, taking
Get
photos.
off the road.
Not a sense of panic out here.
That can like
but,
rise up
very,
and just go
very
over.
high, strong river going on. Back to you. No, it's raining. It's still actively raining right now. I'm getting wet out here. I just, I threw my camera on my shoulder to come capture this very quickly, parking my car on the side of the road. Absolutely incredible strength to this river at the moment. Here, David, let me show you downstream really quick. I'm walking alongside the.
Let me see. Does it show? It's zooming fast. Look at that. And people are driving like more water, and that thing's gonna go up and over the thing. I would block this little pathway just in case. It is zooming. It's zooming by fast. That's some high water. Was this footage before or after the flash flood? No, this was after the flash flood. So right now in Kerrville and Comal County, they're under a flash flood warning until midnight Texas time. So Saturday morning. This was right after. It is zooming. It's zooming by quick. Let's see. Let's go right here. Okay, well, there's an ad. Great. I'm not sponsored by these ads, by the way. It'll be nice if I was. Man saves. Oh, we're gonna watch this one. The man that saved the woman from the tree. That was crazy. Where is it? Okay, it should be coming up where it plays. Samo. Wait. I think the flash flooding, when it went, everyone was asleep. This happened like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So nobody's gonna see it. I know whenever like a weather alert comes out, you know how your phone makes that ring big sound. Add that to the dictionary. That noise I made. It makes that noise. And of course, if you're a heavy sleeper, you're not gonna hear that noise. You're just gonna hear, or when you get up, you're gonna feel the water in your house, or you're gonna hear like the heavy rain. And like some people said, you know, like, we're used to the rain. We're used to the heavy rain, but not this heavy. So like some people were like, oh, I heard thunder. I didn't think of nothing. I just thought it was rain, like heavy rain. But then like when people stepped on their floor, they would feel the water. They're like, okay, this is not normal. So, and that's what sucks. It's like it goes off our phone now. Now we have to listen for that noise to bing. Somebody's house or a cabin washed away. So yeah, that's what sucks. Like whenever there's like, and sometimes it doesn't even ring. Sometimes you have to go to the national weather thing. Like if you have an Apple, you know how it has the weather app. Sometimes you have to go to the weather app and it shows you like the warnings or the watches. It sucks. Excuse me. It's not like before, like when you would watch TV. I remember when I was little, I would watch TV and like whenever it would rain, it would change to the news and it would do that dee, that dee sound. And then at the bottom would be like breaking news, heavy thunderstorms for this county, this county, this county, this county, yada, 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 yada. And it would slide across the bottom. I wish they would do that now, but it's kind of hard now because a lot of TVs are smart TVs. And now like a lot of people don't have the news on the smart TVs. So now we just rely off our phones, but not a lot of people have phones. Like the elderly folks don't have the apps or anything. They don't know how to work a smartphone. So it's kind of harder for them. Yeah, they move fast. It's loud. Floods are loud. Yeah. So it's look at that house. Look at the car. Oh my God. Jeez. And more in the hill country area is where like all like the people with livestock kind of live. So I'm hoping, well, it happened at night. So of course not a lot of people are going to have time to let their livestock run loose. But I heard if you like have livestock and stuff like that, you usually need to like let them free and they'll find their way to higher ground or to safety. But it just depends, you know, but this happened like last night, so it really came with a surprise.
And the water started to rise very rapidly.
What time did this happen around? 2 or 3 hours ago. Was your house actually the one with this porch over here, or?
This is our house right here.
Well, I mean, did it move down the way a little bit? Did it move at all? It got shoved over here. Where was your house originally at?
That right there is the front.
Uh huh.
And it was right, literally, right here.
So it turns out that the presser is live. I would think that it would happen at 10, but it's happening right now. So we're going to watch it. Well, some of it, and then we'll go back in.
Those in the following counties: Bandera, Coke, Comal, Concho, Gillespie, Kendall, Kerr, Kimball, Llano, Mason, McCullough, Menard, Reeves, San Saba, and Tom Green counties. This will ensure all the counties that are identified in this, and there may be more that need to be added later, are going to have access to every tool, strategy, personnel that the state of Texas can provide to them, which will be limitless. We'll put in everything we have in the entire state. Someone who's been involved in this and shares the commitment is the Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick.
Thank you, Governor. Dalton, who's our city manager, told us earlier that he was jogging at 3 a.m. along the river, and there wasn't a drop of rain falling. And within a few hours, the Guadalupe had risen about 26 feet, and actually it rose that quickly in about 45 minutes of those 2 hours. And since that first alert went out early this morning, between 4 and 5 a.m., the city officials here, the sheriff, immediately sprung into action. And since 4 or 5 this morning, they have not stopped. We put forth 400 to 500 state employees, DPS, game wardens. I'll let the speakers talk about the specifics of everyone we had in the air, drones, helicopters, but from the first minute that this storm went from 3 a.m, not a drop of rain, until the tragedy struck and the river rose, these people behind us, Governor, have done everything they can. And there have been a number of rescues, and they'll speak to that as well during the day. And I echo what the governor said. As I said earlier, we will not stop until we find every body, and the rescue continues that effort. We will not stop. And it is God Almighty that we need. Not a thought and prayers message. Hey, get down on your knees and pray for these families tonight and all these children. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you. There's going to be other people who speak here, but before they do speak, I want to recognize a few others who will be involved in this process. One is the state representative from this area, West Riddell. Why don't you let people know who you are? And we're also in the state Senate district of Senator Pete Flores. And we have the Texas Parks and Wildlife Game Warden, Colonel, who's here with us. Thank you all for being a part of this process. And now I want to turn things over to Sheriff Letha.
Yes, Sheriff Larry Leith of Kirk County. What I'd like to let y'all know and the public know is, like the governor said, we do have all the resources we need at this time, and we will continue to have them until we finish this mission. I want to tell y'all that we will be working around the clock 24/7 until every person is found. What I can confirm at this point, we're at about 24 fatalities. We're not going to be giving any names out at this time. We're still notifying next of kin. Also, I've been notified one fatality has been found in Kendall County. I cannot say it's related to this incident at this time, but we'll let y'all know when we find out more information. I asked the media to be real patient with us during this time. We've got a lot of things going on. Y'all see what? There's a lot of people here. We have a lot of resources. We just need more time, and we're looking really forward. We'll be working 24/7 overnight into tomorrow through the next several days in this mission. We will get you information as we get it. We will get it to you. We'll continue to have briefings. We'll continue to keep updated at this time. At this time, I'll turn it over to Mayor Herring.
I'm Joe Herring Jr. I'm mayor of the city of Kerrville. My job today is to tell people thank you. People from across the state have come to help. City, county, state, all working together, all working for the same goal. I want to say thank you to the dedicated men and women of the first responders. You are our heroes today. We will not stop. We will rescue those in peril, and we will find those who are missing. But I'd also ask, please pray for our community. This is a hard day, and there will be hard days to come. Pray for us. We covet your prayers. Thank you.
The task of the Texas Department of Public Safety is to serve and to protect our state, as well as to keep people safe. I want the Director, Colonel Freeman Martin from the Texas Department of Public Safety to explain to you all the details about the lengths that DPS has gone through over just less than the past 24 hours, which has been very helpful in what you guys helped accomplish.
Well, this was a catastrophic event. It was a mass casualty event. And we don't want to get up here and brag about, the successes when there's life lost and kids that are still missing. But I can tell you every asset, every resources that the Department of Public Safety has is being used here today. We have long-lasting relationships with the Sheriff, Larry Leith, that go back 30 years, working with the mayor. And we brought in over 100 troopers this morning, and they worked all day, rescues, high water vehicles, boats, rescue drivers, divers, 7 rescue helicopters with hoist capabilities. And that was just today. We have another shift coming in tonight and another shift in the morning. We'll really ramp it up in the morning, but we will not stop. In addition to the search and rescue, that's the priority right now. Moving forward, tomorrow we're going to bring in communications operators, victim services people to help our partners here in Kirk County and HHSC. We have Parks and Wildlife here. They're providing just many boat teams, and they have 2 rescue helicopters. Today we had the Texas Military Department, the Texas Department of Public Safety, Parks and Wildlife, Task Force.
The ones who carry us, the selfless sacrificer of hair ties, the post-break.
Sorry, I gotta add.
Very important day. We had a hard time getting in this morning with the weather the way it was. So as the day went on, it picked up, and we were able to rescue more and recover more. That will continue tomorrow. We have more resources en route. So with that, I'll turn it over to General Seltzer.
Good afternoon. As the governor has already said, he has ordered me to provide every capability that the Texas National Guard has to these local officials in this community. Today, we activated 5 helicopters with hoist to do rescue operations. They were paired with rescue swimmers from Texas Task Force 1. These crews trained together year-round just for this situation, and they were ready to respond. Additionally, we have 3 additional helicopters on the way to support the community. We are also using high-profile tactical military vehicles to move evacuees out of high water areas to shelter locations. As of a few hours ago, we had rescued or evacuated 237 people, and 167 of those were by helicopter. So we're having a very good helicopter response when the weather allows. Additionally, in our operations tomorrow, we'll be sending personnel to help with evacuee shelter management and also the Texas Emergency Tracking Network. It's a banding system so that we can band evacuees to help get accountability of who's being evacuated into the shelters. Thank you.
Thank you, General. And thank you to the men and women of the Texas National Guard. And now Nim Kidd, the Chief of the Texas Division of Emergency Management.
Thank you, Governor. Our prayers are rooted in action. We've had folks on the ground since yesterday afternoon here, and our State Emergency Operations Center was opened at 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The original forecast that we received on Wednesday from the National Weather Service predicted 3 to 6 inches of rain in the Concho Valley and 4 to 8 inches of rain in the Hill Country. We worked with our own meteorologists to fine tune that weather statement. And as many of you know, and many of you in broadcast journalism and meteorology, you can go back and look at your own forecast, and the amount of rain that fell in this specific location was never in any of those forecasts. Nonetheless, in partnership with our local officials here, we had resources that have been surrounding this area since yesterday. When the rain fell and the calls came in, we immediately jumped into action alongside of our local partners. In addition to the local partners that are here, we have 150 personnel, search and rescue experts from Texas A&M Task Force 1. We have over 1,000 state officials and state partners that are responding here with over 804 assets, vehicles, boats, and helicopters. I want to run through that list really quickly. 150 from Texas Task Force 1, that is 30 boats and additional high-profile vehicles. You heard from Colonel Martin in the Texas Department of Public Safety. Colonel Vanderroos down on the end has over 170 personnel here, 167 four-wheel drive vehicles, and over 53 boats in addition to their aircraft. You heard from General Seltzer about the military departments. The A&M Forest Service is here to help us do tree removal and get trees out of the way and help with incident management. The Department of State Health Services has 164 members from the Emergency Medical Task Force here with over 71 pieces of equipment. You may see ambulances in this county that aren't anywhere from near here. They're part of the Emergency Medical Task Force. There will be questions about reunification centers. There'll be questions about noticing. Our local partners will answer those questions when you have them. And Governor, at this point, that ends my prepared remarks.
Thank you very much. So this is a 24/7 effort. Everyone needs to know, day or night, whatever hour of the day, there will be local officials, state officials collaborating together. Also want to thank the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, who gave me a phone call today to offer any assistance that we need. Secretary Doug Burgum, Secretary of the U.S. Department of the Interior, who called and offered any resources we need. Senator Cruz called and offered any support that they could provide. So this is something where the federal government is leaning in and wants to assist the community here in the heart of Texas to accelerate the process, to be able to draw this to a very positive conclusion. And it's something that Texas will continue to lean into. We'll take a few questions.
Any estimate on how many people are missing or unaccounted for?
No, at this time, sir, no, we don't have an estimate. The problem was, it was a holiday weekend here. We have a lot of campers here, and we do not know that number at this time.
What about the 23 missing from Camp Missing? Has that number changed?
No, it's still, it's between 23 and 25. We have not confirmed that yet. We're still working on that, sir.
So the federal partners were helping with that, but we didn't see the National Weather Service forecast until well into the storm. Can you give us any insight into why there wasn't any updates from the National Weather Service about the flooding?
What's it like to get glasses from Moscot? It's like talking to people.
Jeez. These dang commercials.
The city manager can explain to you kind of in real life terms exactly what happened, when it happened, and how it happened, and why it was so unpredictable.
Thank you, Governor. And as the Lieutenant Governor alluded to, I was out on the river trail this morning, which is, again, at water level of the Guadalupe. I was out there about 3:30 this morning doing a jog. I left there probably about 4 o'clock. There was very light rain, no signs of the river. I come from the Houston area, so very used to hurricanes, very used to flooding. We kind of monitored that, checked some different areas. We did not see any signs of the river rising at that time. I started getting phone calls probably about 5 o'clock. We went, the fire chief Maloney and I went back out to Louise Hayes Park. Up on the top section, we did have national EMR, and we already had a lot of our emergency plan ready for the 4th of July event, which is at the river level. By the time we got to the national EMR truck, we could not get it out, and we almost got stuck on the top level. So there's a pavilion down in Louise Hayes Park. Within an hour and a half, it had already risen well over 20, 25 feet. So we were monitoring that as much as we possibly could.
After the 1987 flood, there were some flood alarms installed along the river. Are those still working? Any reason why they wouldn't?
A lot of the times, I think, and again, I'm relatively new here, there's alarms typically in Comfort or further downstream. When you look at the headwaters of the Guadalupe, which we are at the headwaters of the Guadalupe, there's a north and a south fork. And so under, we'll say since 1987, under normal conditions, if you call it that, you'll hit water in one of those areas. And those two forks will converge into the Guadalupe, which comes through the city of Kerrville. This rain event sat on top of that and dumped more rain than what was forecasted on both of those forks. When we got the report, it was about 7 feet or so on the South Fork, and within a matter of minutes, it was up to 29 feet, and all of that converged at the Guadalupe, and that's where we saw those very quick rise in flood. So there's not alarms everywhere on the river. No, sir.
Sheriff, you said there were 23 deaths and 24?
No, 24, right?
24, and if that's the entire river, that's just this county?
That's just this county, in the county.
Do we know the total? That's what we said, that needed one more?
We do have a report from one fatality in Kendall County.
I want to ask, what is the process if an evacuation now? This seems like it came on very fast. I spoke with some flood victims in Ephraim who said their home was flooding as rescues were happening down the river. They asked me, why weren't there evacuation notices at that point? What is the process like to get an evacuation notice? What's the threshold to send out an alert to people to get out of the house?
So just like anything with evacuations is very difficult, right? There's a balance between, do you evacuate and then put chaos onto the road and potentially risk people getting stuck on a road? This is the hill country. For those that haven't been here, there are hills. There's a lot of low water crossings. And if you spark an evacuation at the wrong time or create an evacuation, you could go into a mass panic, get people on the road, which could be even more deadly by having vehicles swept away. So there's a very fine balance between sheltering in place, getting to the high grounds. A lot of our operations plans, especially with these camps, that is the plan, is sometimes shelter in place, get them to those known high grounds, and then wait for rescue. Again, when this came in, people are sleeping. Even if you were able to try to get notification, that evacuation period is a very delicate balance.
Can you guys confirm if game wardens did go into Camp Mystic and pull kids and staff out of there?
Come on in.
Yes, so starting early this morning, we had about 107 game wardens along with our aviation group trying to make access into the camp. Shortly after midday, we breached over into the camp and were able to start removing children from the camp from there.
Is Camp Mystic the only camp that's under this sort of duress? I've got reports of other camps that seem to be evacuated okay, or is that the only one that we're really working on right now?
Yes, that's the only one is Camp Mystic. All the other camps, we've accounted for everybody and everything's fine. Camp Mystic's where we had all our trouble.
Also River Inn, which is just, west of that, Larry?
Yeah, I mean, I have no reports of any problems there at River End. It's just Camp Mystic at this time.
What are the hardest hit areas from what you can tell as far as where the fatalities or the currently no missing person reports are coming from? And how far is your search area extending right now from where upstream to where downstream?
We're working anywhere from about 30 miles west of Kerrville on the Guadalupe River at this time. But that out west, you know, on our east side, we didn't have any problems. Everything is pretty much west of Kerrville. All our issues are from this flooding.
And as far as where the hardest hit areas were along Guadalupe?
Well, yeah, yes, we're about 30 miles from.
I just meant to were there particular properties or campgrounds that where you're seeing the most damage, the most loss of life or missing people?
Anything close to the rivers where we're seeing property damage and missing people.
To add on to that, you know, when you look at the 100-year flood map, you know, we're trying to get as much comparison as we can. While we don't know if it's the exact 100-year floodplain map, it is darn close. And so that shows a lot of stuff when you look at that. So anything along the forks, anything along, you know, camping, cabins, RV parks, even some things that were kind of on the higher end RV parks were, again, the massive amount of water that came in, we're just moving those vehicles out of those areas.
And there's been a lot of talk about how this was not foreseen. Lieutenant Governor, you mentioned in your press conference earlier today that when the regional director contacted local officials to let them know about the possibility of flooding, but we're now hearing we didn't know what was going to happen. So what was the warning or conversation that happened?
Yeah, is Jay Hall?
Yeah, Governor, I'll take
Yeah,
that. So the State Emergency Operations Center started having daily briefings yesterday on the potential for flood for all of this part of Texas, from here out to San Angelo and Abilene and further out. We have been in contact with local officials, and at some point in time in the future, we're happy to share those emails and contact information of what we had shared. But listen, everybody got the forecast from the National Weather Service, right? You all got it. You're all in media. You got that forecast. It did not predict the amount of rain that we saw.
And what was the severity that you were warning about that time?
Well,
Based on that?
using, yes, sir.
What were you warning might happen in terms of flooding?
So using the National Weather Service data, which we were all looking at, they were warning 3 to 6 inches of rain. However, some of those models showed numbers that were higher than that, which caused us to activate additional resources and have them in the area just in case. And those were put immediately into use as soon as the rain fell and the 911 call started coming in. They were already here.
What kind of resources were they? Was it Swift Fast folks or what was deployed prior?
Yes, sir. Great question. It was Texas A&M Task Force 1 Swiftwater rescue teams, as well as military high-profile vehicles, and the aircrafts were close in theater, but not directly in theater. Those Swiftwater boat teams are professionals from San Antonio and Austin and the surrounding area that, as the general said, train for this kind of mission every day.
City manager said about 3 o'clock this morning when the school drive. At what point from that, what was the timeline when those resources were actually?
They got here at noon yesterday.
But they immediately.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To the point where one of the response vehicles got washed away. That's how fast they got caught up in it. They were in the middle of it. They were ready to go. Not to that group, no, sir.
How did you talk about it? The nature of the camps. Are you getting updates from people because it's such a, they're from all over. Some of the kids we've had missing are from Austin and San Antonio and Beaumont. What was your phone going like for you? You were out of the area. I know that.
Is blown up. The fact of the matter is, calls were coming in first, from my team in the governor's office, Chief Kidd, the other leaders, where we collaborate on this all the time. But over the course of the early morning hours, stories started coming in from people that we know well. This is an area that we've been coming to for close to 20 years. And we know the camp and the camps down here quite well. And we have a lot of friends involved in this. And so there were a lot of my fellow Texans who have great concern about everything that's happened here. And that spurred us into action to make sure that we were going to turn over every stone to make sure every Texan, there may be people here not from Texas, everybody here is going to be accounted for as quickly as possible.
As much as you can talk about it, can you talk about the timeline, what locals can expect, and again, where they can get the resources if they're concerned about missing people, is there a website specifically that they can go to for resources, and what we should expect as far as updates?
Hey, can you rephrase that question for me? I want to make sure I understand it.
Can you give any sense of the time, as best you can, a sense of the timeline of what the general public and press should be able to expect going forward, what your priorities are, and then specifically for the local community that's missing members, where they can go for resources?
Yes, sir. I'll speak in support of our local partners here. Our search and rescue teams are here and will continue to be here and stay around the clock. We are not leaving this community until the last person is found. That's number one. Additional volunteer resources will be managed by our local partners at the city for volunteer and donations, and they can give you those websites to put out in a little while, in a little bit. I think another part of your question was about timeline. Disaster.texas.gov is a live website right now. If your home or your business has been impacted, you can start reporting the damages there. But damage reporting is my second priority. Life safety and search and rescue is my first priority. We'll focus on this whenever we get done with the search and rescue piece. But the more that you can send people to this website now, if they're in a safe place to report their damages, will help us in the future.
Can you confirm whether all of the kids that have been accounted for have been reunited with their parents at this point?
No, I cannot confirm that at this time if they've all been back with their parents, no.
Is there concern about possible evil weather or rain coming, how that affects our operations?
So the short answer to that is yes, we are still concerned about the weather. Any additional rain in this part right now can cause additional issues of flash flooding. And so this is where I really need all of your help. Tell the people that don't live here and don't have family here and don't have family that are missing not to come here. Do not come in this area and start looking around. We had people that were blocking bridges today while we had emergency response vehicles trying to get out and do rescues. So if you don't live in this area and you're not personally involved in this response, don't come to Kerrville, Texas right now. That's part number one. Part number two is if you do have someone that is missing, the city will be putting information out and we want you to report that back in. So I want to add on to your question because it's a great question. The sheriff gave a great answer. But there's Sheriff, remind me, how many camps along the river have we been in contact with today?
About 18.
About 18 different camps. The far majority of those camps have their campers and have already contacted their families and working to reunite those campers and those families together outside of any assistance from the local or the state government. We are focused on the ones that cannot help themselves right now, and that is our primary area of concern.
Say it again. Listen, it's not a matter of trusting or not. Listen, ever since I've been governor, we've had weather events that were completely unpredictable. And that's just a part of nature.
Thank you, folks. Appreciate it.
Well, I'm guessing that was the presser. So what I got from this is they're still looking, they're still trying to get everybody out. And he said it himself, if you're not from Kerrville, don't go to Kerrville and try to help. Stay home. Another thing is, he said, clear the roads out for rescuers, for 911, ambulance and all that. Clear the roads out. Let them do what they got to do. And the fact that he said, when they talked about the girls that are missing, he's like, it's between 20 to 25. They don't have, I think he said they don't have the right estimate. It's just crazy. Very, very crazy, very sad. He was getting kind of hostile too for a second. One of them was like getting kind of hostile. I was like, whoa. Calm down. They're asking you questions. Calm down. He was getting kind of hostile. I was like, whoa. I'm guessing so too. Don't be a part of the rescue mission. Yeah, don't be a part of the rescue mission. Turn around, don't drown. But tomorrow we're going to get hit with some more rain in the morning. So we shall see. So next I'm going to show you various Facebook things that I saw. It got like different. Oh, I'm trying to do it where like it's a. Well, I guess not. It'll just go in different order. So this is the Kerrville, Texas community group. So I joined this group because it shows like live updates. It shows people who are missing, things like that. It even shows like resources. So if you are in Kerrville County, the Resting Hub Fellowship will be available Saturday. That's another word. To anyone who needs support, Wi-Fi, prayer, and a place to rest, or a free cup of coffee. We will stay open throughout the day. They're open from 8 to 4. Their location is 433 Meadowview Lane. If you are in the Kerrville area, or if you know someone in the Kerrville area, Real Life Fellowship is offering a place for you to go rest. If you need a prayer, if you need Wi-Fi, or if you just want coffee and you just want to get out of the rain, this is the place you can go to. Another one is apparently a meteorologist said military helicopters with thermal imaging will be flying over the Guadalupe River tonight to find survivors, to find anybody in the river. So the governor said himself, the other guys who are there said themselves, they have a lot of people on deck to find all these people, and they're not going to stop until they find the very last person. Hopefully everyone that they find is safe and sound somewhere. Now you're going to start seeing people where they start posting like family members, their neighbors. So if, like I said, if you are in the Kerrville area or any surrounding areas of Kerrville, you can call the Kerrville Police Department or the Red Cross. The number is tickering down below. But this Ben Hudson is missing. He was in the RV park behind Howdy's. Anyone have information on evacuation and how people were able to get out, please let me know. So if you see Bill anywhere in the area, please contact the number down below. Do not call 911. I'm going to say it again. Do not call 911. They don't want you to call 911 unless it's very life-threatening. If it's not life-threatening, you call the number that's tickering down below on my banner. You call the Kerrville Police Department. That's the non-threatening hotline. Or you can call the Red Cross number. Do not call 911. Do not. Unless it's something very emergency where you need to call 911, where you're stuck somewhere or it's life-threatening, then yes. But they're advising if you're looking for somebody or you found somebody, you call the number that's tickering down below. They're also saying if you're not from Kerrville, like Janelle said, don't be a part of the rescue mission. They don't want anyone from out of Kerrville to come here unless you're rescue team or law officials. But if you're just a civilian who just wants to come help, they're telling you no. If you're wanting to go visit Kerrville and see the aftermath or the map, like what's going on, they're telling you no, don't come. They want everyone just to be safe. Okay. And then of course you're going to see people who are just saying, you know, if you need this, if you need that, hit me up. It's like for this one, if there's anyone with type 1 diabetes that are in need of insulin or supplies, reach out to this person. They can help you. I don't know about that just because, you know, you never know. But now we're going to start looking into the missing people who are missing. Someone asked for a Canva of photos of missing loved ones. Maybe someone can pin this to the top and others can add their photos in the comments. Only photos, no comments, to keep it clean and focused. Update status if found, prayers for all. So again, I'm going to show you the different people who are missing. This is Hadley. She was missing from Camp Majestic. If you have any information on Hadley, you can call this number down below, or you can call the number that's tickering on my screen. This is Molly. If you see Molly, you can contact her mom, her dad, or her aunt. The numbers are down below. If not, you can contact the number that's tickering on my screen. This is Anna. If you see Anna, you can call the number right here, 713-252-3366, or you can call the number that's tickering down below. This is Eloise Peck and Lena Bonner. You can call, if you see Eloise, you can call 214-725-3771. If you see Leah, you can call 972-854-1886, or the number that's tickering down below. These are all girls who are missing from Camp Mystic. They're all unaccounted for. If you see Margaret, you can call the two numbers down below, 713-412-8860 or 713-385-4309, or you can call the number that's tickering down below. This is Virginia. If you see Virginia, you call the number or you call the number down below. Stranger danger. Oh, you're right. Stranger danger. I didn't think of that. Yeah. This is kind of, I mean, like, I know the true crime mind in me is thinking, like, I don't know. Don't be a creep. Don't be a weirdo. No, don't do that. Okay. I don't know. I have true crime brain. But I just hope these babies, everyone is found safe and sound. Even the pets. I can only imagine, like, the pets that are out in the street. Oh my god. My mind is everywhere. So little, and fingers crossed they're all safe and dry. Yes, I hope they're all safe and they're okay. Like, I'm praying for them. Keep Kerrville in your prayers tonight. Prayers for Kerrville and everybody in there. This is Renee. Here's the number. Don't be weird. Don't be creeps and prank call these numbers. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you see Renee, you call their parents or you call the number down below. Most importantly, take them to the police station, please. In this world, there's a lot of weirdos and pedos. So this is Janie, Lenny, and they're also little. Remember, they're ranging from 7 to 18. No, from 7 years old to 17 or 18 years old. Camp Majestic has the year range. I remember there was other people camping as well. There was other campsites, but mostly they're just focusing on Camp Majestic. I think they said the other camps, all the students were accounted for and they're trying to reunite them with their family. But mind you, there is people who were there camping as well, regular civilians, and you're going to see their pictures as well and their family looking for them. Even if they weren't camping, the nearby houses that were dragged with the water, or people who were simply trying to evacuate that were taken by the water, you're going to see that. Even the pets, you're going to see all the pets and stuff. And I do have a thing for the pets as well. Yeah, the poor pets. Yes, the pets. Oh my god. This is Mary. Lainey. Oh, okay. So Lainey has been found safe. That's good. Okay. So an hour ago, Lainey has been found safe. Thank goodness. Thank God she's found safe. I hope she's getting medical attention and I hope she's reunited with her parents. Okay. So Lainey Landry has been found safe. Oh, it goes back to Haley. Okay. I don't think there's any comments. Okay. We can see. Sorry if there's any comments, because remember she said, like, if you have missing family members, just put them down below. I don't know. So Lainey's been found safe. Oh, I have that picture. I'll show you that picture. Okay. So another one, looking for missing family member. They were staying at Casa Bonita in Hunt. Pam and Mike Smith, Brian Carpenter, and Blake. So if you see Pam and Mike Smith, Brian Carpenter, or Blake, please call the number down below, or you can call that number. Greta, this is the little girl who the school actually identified her. I think this is the one we saw and it had no name. Well, the school actually, I guess they saw the picture of Greta. They're like, hey, we know who Greta is. So this is Greta. And also for the ones who are deceased, I think they're still doing investigation to figure out who they are, and they're trying to get a hold of the next of kin. So maybe by Monday or Tuesday, maybe even like tomorrow or Sunday, they'll have who the individuals are who passed away. Kellyanne is among the girls still unaccounted for due to the flooding at Camp Majestic. If you or someone you know are in the area, please keep an eye out for her. Keep her and her family in your prayers, and call above phone number if you have any information. Yeah. Everyone who's missing, everyone whose family, just pray for everybody tonight. I know you're probably out celebrating 4th of July, but let's do some prayer. Yes, there is. Have you heard about the latest child care scandal here? And no, I haven't. Can you send that to me? We can talk about that tonight. Child care scandal here in Ott. No, I haven't heard of it. Send that to me. Found safe. That's fantastic. Yes, she's been found safe. So this is a article. So it says family members have identified 7 people who are presumed missing after Friday's severe flooding in Texas Hill Country. 3 of the missing people, identified as Eloise Peck, Lita Bonner, Kellyanne Lytle, are among the 23 campers from Camp Majestic unaccounted for, KSAT confirmed with the family members. So now families coming out and they're saying like, hey, you know, my loved one's missing. Bailey Martin and Jada Floyd are another one who are missing. Robert and Joni Brake. The picture's a little blurry. I'm gonna see if there's like different photos that are not blurry. This is Claire Reese Manchaca. Please let us know. We'd love you, Reese. This is her. Obviously, there's no phone number. Just call the number that's tickering down below. This is Jose and Alicia Oliveira. They're in their late 60s. Please keep an eye out for them. Also, if you're in Kerrville, check on your elderly neighbors. I know a lot of the power is out. Check on your elderly neighbors. Check on your neighbors. See if they're all right. See if they're okay. Let's help each other out, one another. I have the picture of this. I'm going to show you in a little bit. Let's help each other out. Help your neighbor out. Help one another out. Especially your elderlies and those who are like on like oxygen tanks or ventilators. If they can't drive themselves, drive them to the nearest shelter where they can sit down and, you know, plug their ventilators and their oxygen tanks, because it's scary out there. Help one each other out. Let's not be dicks and not help your neighbor out. Let's help one another out. Okay, I'll be waiting for that. So this one, 2 girls just safely rescued from Camp Majestic in Hunt, Texas. Continue to pray for others. So these 2 girls, they were rescued from the camp. That's good. Hopefully they can reunite with their family really soon. I know they're probably scared. I'm very concerned about my cousin Billy Lossman in Center Point, Texas, who works at Walmart in Kerrville. Haven't heard from him and was wondering if he was okay due to flooding. If anyone knows him, can you tell him to reach out? I'm very worried. Do they have a picture of Mr. Billy? Okay, so I guess they found him. I guess he's okay. He's safe. Laney's been found. We can confirm that. Okay. So we've seen these pictures. So my niece and her friend were washed off the front porch when the flooding started in Hunt. We weren't able to find them. Please if you see her, Claire Renice Manchata, please let us know. We love you, Reese. Do you have a picture of her friend? So this is Reese. So her and her friend were just like standing on the porch and they got swept away. Update, they were at, I guess they found these people. Okay, so they were missing, but they found them, I guess. Wait, what? Wait, stop. Okay, so this is 5 minutes ago. This is all alleged, all speculations. We're not going to say this happened. We don't know. I have to confirm this, but allegedly, state officials have confirmed 13 of the girls from Camp Majestic have passed away from there, at least 20 remaining unaccounted for and still missing. Our deepest condolences to the families of those lost. Okay, I have to confirm that. Because they said it in the press conference. 13 are confirmed dead, but they're not naming who they are. They're trying to contact the next of kin. So this is alleged. I'm not responsible for Tornado Tacker's opinion if people try to come for me. From what I went off the presser is that there's 13 fatalities, but they haven't said who they are. Now this person is saying allegedly, all speculation, that it's the girls from the camp. Like I said, we don't know. From what they said in the presser was that it's just 13 fatalities. They're not saying who it is just yet. They're trying to contact next of kin, and they're going to go from there if it wants to be released or not. So Tornado Tackers, please don't say that because you don't know. I shared to your Discord one video. Okay, I'll check it right now. Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, so Tornado Tackers, don't say that. We don't know. We don't know yet. Remember, they just said it was just 13 fatalities. They didn't say it was who it was. Sorry, excuse me. Now, this was from the news station. So the camp director has sadly passed away due to the flooding. So this is the camp director. So Kerrville, Texas, the Kerrville Daily Times has confirmed that a camp director at Heart O, the Hills Camp in Hunt, passed away in Friday's flash floods. Jane Ragsdale was a camper and counselor at Heart O, the Hills Camp, in the 1970s before becoming a co-owner of the camp in 1976. She served as program director before becoming the camp director in 1988. The Heart O Hills website describes Ragsdale as the heart and soul of the camp. She had received the Pioneer Trailblazer Award from the Pioneer Alumni Association in 2022 and the Speedy Altman Award, a National Lifetime Achievement Award from the Camp Owners and Directors Association. Officials said 13 people have died and at least 20 others are accounted for due to the flash flooding in Kerrville. That's about it. So my heart and condolences go out to Jane Ragsdale's family. That is so sad. I'm so sorry for your loss. This is Jane. So Jane is one of the 13. So there's one that we can say because this is from the news and they've confirmed it. So, okay, but I don't know where this other one came from, where he said it was from the camp. Okay, so now read the Kerrville County Lead. Let me close some tabs because my internet's, I don't know, If you hear background noises, they're popping firecrackers. So update on an emergency shelter available. That's a big word. The Schreiner University Event Center is currently at full capacity. It's no longer available to accept additional individuals at this time. But the diner remains open and is continuing to provide meals. Okay. So this was at 8:05. This was like literally 2 hours ago. Look at that.
The power of water. This is the river trail that connects you to the main river trail. We're in River Hill, and you can see just this mountain of debris that's ahead of us here. And I was just saying this probably wasn't a great idea to get in here. And we were talking about quicksand. You know, if you're a baby, if you're a Gen Xer or a baby boomer, you're terrified of quicksand. Well, let me tell you right there, it's about as close as it gets to quicksand. So the trail is completely blocked.
This is what water can do. It's going to drag all that debris. This is our governor, by the way. Our governor is a piece of shit. For many reasons. That'll be another topic for a different time. But he really is. Like, the things our governor does, you might have thought he was all sweet and kind, but really you don't know how our governor is. And that's for another time. So this right here, they're basically showing where they're picking up the girls and they're
medically evaluated. And we just saw a helicopter land with several children getting off. And there was another helicopter you're seeing right now land just right here. We're assuming there's also children, maybe adults that are inside that helicopter as well. Jeremy was kind of explaining this whole operation about how, you know,
it's kind of going in and out on my side. But this is just helicopter, this is video of helicopter dropping off girls from the camp and nearby bystanders who are near there. So they're doing what they can to hurry and get everyone out to try to get them to get their medical attention, to be reunited with their family, or to send them to shelters. So Amanda is asking for our help. She says, Jennifer Harbor and her brother RJ need your help finding their family. RJ, his wife, Annie, and his children, 11-year-old Brooke and 13-year-old Blair, were with his parents, 74-year-old Charlene and 76-year-old Mike, at 108 Casa Bonita, house from in the second photo. When the flooding waters ripped through the area, Jennifer has heard from RJ and Annie, but no one else. They're also looking for their dog, Daisy May and Lily Lou. If you see them, call authorities or call Jennifer and RJ. So this is the pictures. Oh my God, look at their dog. I want to cry. Oh my God. Look at him. Oh, if he has an Apple AirTag, I'm sure you can find. Oh, but you can't. I think Apple AirTags, they don't work in the water. Oh my God. Prayers that they're all found, even the dogs. I'm praying for a positive outcome. Oh snap, this is my bro, this is my Facebook. You guys saw my Facebook. Okay. I'm trying to see if I'll find any other. Okay. So the next one I'm going to show you, if anyone you know, he's a poly Are shit people. Yeah. Cute. They are cute, right? Yeah. Our governor is a piece of shit. We gotta have a conversation about him another day. So now, if you live in Kerrville, or you know someone who lives in Kerrville, this is regarding the pets. So Austin's Pets Alive has joined Kerrville to coordinate animal rescue. See the flyer, and then you could donate to them as well. So I'm gonna put it full screen. So if you are missing a pet, or if you know someone who's missing a pet, or if you found a pet, or you need to report, you left your pet behind at home, here's the QR code to scan. Or you can also call the number down below. I think it only goes for dogs and cats and birds. Livestock wise, I don't know. Maybe you can scan it still, and maybe someone did turn in like a livestock, like a cow or a horse, a little piggy, any type of animal. Scan that code, and maybe they can help you find your animal, or maybe they can help you they can watch your animal for you, I'm assuming. But scan that QR code. I'm gonna leave it for a few more seconds before we go to our next one. They always say, like, if there's heavy flooding, or like if you live out where we get where you get tornadoes, always let your livestock loose. Apparently they say livestock know where to go, like the cows and the horses. They know where to go. They know to go to high ground. They know to go away from danger. But always tag them. Always tag your animals, so that way, like, when you're looking for them, that's them because they have that specific tag. But if you have animals that you can take and travel with, by all means, please take your pets. I know a lot of elderly people, they can't take their pets, so they leave them behind. So if you have an elderly neighbor who has pets and they're looking for their pet, scan the QR code here, and hopefully Austin's Pets Alive can help you find your missing pet, or they have your pet and they found it. They just want to make sure your pet is reunited with you. So, for example, like the one we just saw who was looking for their pets, if you're looking for your pet, scan that code. Maybe they have the two dogs there with them. But yeah, always check on your elderly. They can't get up and move faster like we can. Help them out. Don't be a dick. Help them out. Help your neighbors out. Help everybody out. All right. So that's one. Now this one has all the missing people. So remember, Lainey has been found. So they have Lainey on here, but Lainey's been found. But these are everyone that people are saying that are missing. So we can kind of zoom in a bit. You have Eloise, Kaylee Ann, Molly, Renee, Virginia, Linny, Lena, Pam and Mike, Brian, Blake, Megan, Jake, and Mueller. They cut out whoever, the little girl at the bottom. Oh, did I scroll down? Okay, hold on. No? It didn't give me the bottom ones. Maybe if I click the next. What the heck? Okay. It won't let me zoom in. Okay, there we go. You have Emma, Jeff, Tanya, Harley. Next, you have Reese, Joyce, Natalie, Mary. Oh, you can't see her because of this. Hold on. Oh, God. There we go. Mary, RJ, and Brooke, Blair, Charlene, and Mike. I think they said they found RJ and someone else because I saw they put their number. But just in case, there's a whole photo. They found Bobby and Amanda, Alicia and Jose. I have to zoom out a bit. Exit out. How did I do this? I did something for it to show the bottom. What did I do for it to show the bottom? Okay, there we go. You have Cody and Michelle, Carol and Andrew, Carol and Richard, Anna, Deanne and Gary, Tasha and Joelle, Amber, Jeff, and Shiloh. I think they found them, if I'm not mistaken. They were somewhere. But just in case, they're there. Sael and Steve. Next, we have... Okay, I have to zoom in. We have Margaret. We have Hadley. We have Robert and Joni. We have Carlos. He is so little. Oh my God. Stop, because I'm about to cry. He's so freaking little. Oh my God. I'm actually about to cry. Oh my God. He's so tiny. He's like 5 or 6, maybe 4. You have Reese, Paula, and her kids. They don't name them. You have Tiana, Greta, Leonardo, Bailey and Jada, the Burgess family. I think they found them. If I'm not mistaken, it's there just in case. You have Molly. You have Aiden, Ella, Catherine, and Janie. Oh my God, but Carlos is so little. Okay. And they have blank ones, so I think there's more people missing. They're just trying to get everybody together. You have Rob and Melissa, Holly, Bella, Gloria, Catherine, Blake McCroy, and Blake McCroy. Oh, they put Blake McCroy twice. Okay. Some of them have numbers. Like I said, if you find them, please call the number that's taken down below on my screen. Okay, let's see the comments. William, we talked about William. So William and his dog Sage, they're missing. They were at the campgrounds. So if you see William or Bill and Sage, please call the number down below. Look at Sage. Oh my God, he is so freaking cute. If you see them, please call the number down below. Is that all the comments? I saw this post from a friend on Facebook. Not sure if they have been rescued yet, but wanted to add in case they were. We're in Cali, so time step is PTD. Okay, so this is from someone named Emma. We survived the flood so far. We're in Hunt at 2:30/2:45 a.m. Got the staff wake up at the river, but the river was up by 3:30. We were in the car, went to the road, which was the highest point. 3:45, we were taking everyone out of the car with help of strangers, walking in knee to stomach high water, going to a 2-story shelter where at least 30 to 45 others were amazingly walking through the storm, rushing waters to the back stairs. Heath and others were on the roof helping rescue more to safety at 3:59, and our car had water in it. Water was at least 6 feet in the first floor rooms. This is total devastation. This is insane. We have some food and water to last a couple of days, but the roads are washed out. Just pray to get out before we run out. We have all our kids, Heath and Lindsay Rieger, who is 3 weeks away from her due date, and their 2 boys, Grant and Madeline. We said lots of rosaries and chapels, and when we were done saying them, we started to sing them. Please pray there's no issues with anyone till we get out. Okay, but it doesn't say where you are, though. If your name's Emma and you see this, please tell us where you're at. So I have one more video of the Kerrville, and then we're going to talk about what Janelle was talking about. So this is from Rachel Sanchez. I don't know if she's got help or anything, but I just thought we would talk about it just in case. Help us. 1523 Coberlin Street off Bell Street. Anybody with something, boat or something, please. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I hope somebody rescue. I mean, you could see 911 where it's across the street. You see, they can't get to them. They need like boat. Now I'm crying. Stop. I hope they got to them though. It is sad, yeah. Right? I mean, she says she's lived there 30 years and they've never seen it like this. The last time it flooded was back in 2002. I don't think it was the Hill Country. I don't know. I don't remember where it was. I was little at the time. But that's so sad. I mean, I hope I hope somebody went out and rescued them. This was 15 hours ago. I don't know. Did they get help? I really want to know if they got help. There's no comments. She hasn't. Let me click on her. Did she get help? That's what I want to know. So I don't know if Rachel and her family made it out. She hasn't posted anything. I'm praying that she got out. They all got out safely, especially her dad. Her dad's in hospice. Oh my freaking gosh. Oh my God. Renee or Rachel, if you please, I hope you. And they're over there. They can't get to them. Like look at that. Like 911 is literally right over there and they can't come this way. They need a boat. I hope and pray that they made it out. There must have been an inkling that the river could burst its banks. Maybe. I know they're looking at the dam here and in other surrounding states because the water is going wherever it could go. It's going to any other river it can reach to. So they're looking at the dams heavily just in case the dam does break, then we're all fucked. Water is going to be everywhere. But they said that the dam is okay and that it can withstand so much water. So pray that the dam is okay as well. Hopefully, this is going to take a while. This is going to take weeks almost for this water to flush out. I know they said the meteorologist was like wind is another source. They said wind can help move out the water, the streaming water, like the water that's this type of water. So Sunday, it's supposed to be clear. It's supposed to be kind of sunny. It's going to take a while for this water to lower down low. So, let me see. Okay. So that's going to conclude our topic of the Hill Country flood. Now we're going to talk about what Janelle sent me because I want to see this. But before we do that, I want to give out my prayers and condolences to everyone in Kerrville County, all who are affected by the flooding. I hope that you reunite with your family, your friends, your pets. I hope everyone's okay. I hope the 23 girls who are missing are all okay, that they're somewhere dry and safe. Pets, I hope everyone finds their pets. The number, I'm going to leave the number down below, tickering until the end of the stream. But I do hope that everyone who is missing and not accounted and who aren't accounted for, they're safe and they're okay. We have one more batch of storms coming in tomorrow morning. Let me check the weather. It's currently 10:31 Texas time. So for me here, if you're in San Antonio, according to the weather app, thunderstorms are expected around 9 a.m. and the chances are 25%. If you're in Kerrville, let me see. I'm gonna get mad. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna prepare myself. Okay, if you're in Comal County or in Kerrville County, you have a flash flood warning still until midnight, so 2 more hours and that'll expire. If you're in those surrounding areas, tune into your local news station. It's not telling me the weather for Kerrville. It's only saying for my end, which sucks because I want to know Kerrville's. Okay, hold on. Kerrville weather. Yeah, Kerrville, you're still under a flood warning. It says there's a 20% chance of rain at 2 a.m. for Kerrville. Once it hits the 3 o'clock mark in Kerrville, Texas, you are at a 40% chance of thunderstorms. So this is where the second batch of rain comes to you guys. So please be careful out there. Get to high ground. Just stay safe. Check up on your neighbor, everything, please. All right. So this is going to be the second half of the live, and we're going to conclude it after we see what Janelle sent us, because she said I have to prepare myself because I'm going to get mad. My voice is cracking because I am sick, so don't mind me sounding all like this. I'm kind of scared, Janelle. What did you send me? You said I'm going to get pissed. Okay, let this ad play out. Okay, let's see what Janelle sent us.
Warning, this story contains some distressing details. Victorian authorities are urging 1,200 children to be tested for sexually transmitted diseases after a Melbourne childcare worker was charged with scores of child sex crimes. Joshua Dale.
What did she say? Go back.
Brown is facing more than details. Victorian authorities are urging 1,200 children to be tested.
Did she just say 1,200 children? Did she just say 1,200 children? Oh my God. 1,200 children?
Tested for sexually transmitted diseases after a Melbourne childcare worker was charged with scores of child sex crimes. Joshua Dale Brown is facing more than 70 charges against 8 children dating back to his time working at a centre in Melbourne's western suburbs in 2022 and 2023. The 26-year-old has been in custody since his arrest in May. Detectives say his youngest alleged victim was just 5 months old.
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm beyond pissed. I was sad, now I'm pissed. Sunnyside, you made it. Happy 4th. Yeah, he's 26 years old. But it was more than, what did she say? 12,000?
Children to be tested for sexually.
Let me go back. Let me put closed captions.
Some distressing details. Victorian authorities are urging 1,200 children to be tested for sexually transmitted diseases after
12,000 kids to be tested for diseases. The youngest being 5 months old. I'm going to shut up and let this play out, and then we're going to talk about it.
After a Melbourne childcare worker was charged with scores of child sex crimes. Joshua Dale Brown is facing more than 70 charges against 8 children dating back to his time working at a centre in Melbourne's western suburbs in 2022 and 2023. The 26-year-old has been in custody since his arrest in May. Detectives say his youngest alleged victim was just 5 months old.
It was a press conference so distressing, even the most hardened public personas were shattered.
My heart just breaks for the families who are living every parent's worst nightmare. And as a parent too, I can only imagine the unbearable grief and pain the affected families are experiencing right now.
This is an incredibly distressing investigation, and the information we are going to provide today is particularly confronting.
Victorian detectives charging a childcare worker with more than 70 offences at a centre in Melbourne's West, including sexual penetration of a child.
In panic. I left my work straight away, my job straight away, and I came to pick him up.
Maybe it will haunt me forever. And did something happen to my child by that time? And if so, what happened?
Police taking the rare step of identifying the man accused, 26-year-old Joshua.
This is the little piece of shit. Bro, you look like a fucking wiener. What the fuck? You piece of fucking shit. I'm fucking pissed. You fucking piece of shit. Sorry, I'm cussing. You fucking piece of shit. You fuckface. I hope 1,200 men fucking do the same thing you did to all these innocent little fucking kids. You piece of fucking shit. I'm so fucking pissed. I am so fucking pissed. I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed. I am so pissed. I'm sorry for cussing, but I'm so pissed. What did you say? 5 months to 2 years, only charged with 8 children because that's who they've identified? Oh my God. What the? Let me shut up and let this finish.
Joshua Dale Brown from Point Cook in Melbourne's sprawling western suburbs. Brown allegedly abused 8 children at the Creative Gardens Early Learning Centre in Point Cook. His youngest alleged victim, just 5 months old. The oldest, 2 years old. He wasn't known to police and has been in custody since he was arrested.
It's very important to ensure that every parent out there that has a child in childcare knows who he is and where he worked.
In the past 8 years, Brown worked at 20 other childcare centres around Melbourne. Health authorities are urging 1,200 children to be tested for sexually transmitted diseases.
We do understand that this is another distressing element to the situation, and we're taking this approach as a precaution.
Brown had a Working with Children check, but it's since been cancelled. It's prompted questions about the system.
To receive a Working with Children check, you have to do 0 training. You just need to go through a police screening, whereas to serve alcohol to adults, you have to do a day of training, pass a test.
10 years ago, a Royal Commission into Institutional Abuse recommended a standardised Working with Children check with a national database. It still hasn't happened.
No more time to look, to consider, to review. It's simply get on with the task and complete the job that should have been done much earlier.
Childcare is regulated under a national framework. The states and federal governments have already agreed to ban phones in centres and to stop payments for centres that don't meet the standard. Richard Willingham, ABC News, Melbourne.
And if this story has raised any...
So he's worked at many different child care facilities. So they're telling 1,200 kids to get tested for sexually transmitted diseases. Do they not check background? I mean, they don't even check backgrounds here either. Damn, look at all the shit that happens here as well. Like, jeez. Oh my freaking gosh. What is this? A second man? Unbelievable. There's another. Oh my God. I'm going to let this play and then I'm going to say my thoughts.
Investigating a Melbourne childcare worker accused of child sex crimes have charged a second man with serious offences. Detectives will allege 36-year-old Michael Simon Wilson from Hoppers Crossing was known to childcare worker Joshua Dale Brown, who's facing scores of child sex charges. And a warning, this story contains some disturbing details.
In April, detectives investigating the alleged rape of a teenage boy descended on Hoppers Crossing man Michael Simon Wilson. But in charging him, they allegedly made a grim discovery. Police who examined his devices will allege that they found a link between Wilson and Joshua Dale Brown, which led them to arrest the Melbourne childcare worker. Brown is now facing more than 70 child sex offences against 8 children over his time at the Creative Garden Early Learning Centre at Point Cook in Melbourne's western suburbs. The investigation has prompted a massive public health response, with authorities urging 1,200 children to get tested for sexually transmitted diseases.
As soon as I thought about it and they said it was Joshua Brown, I was like, I know exactly who that is.
Point Cook mother Jane, not her real name, was among the parents to receive a text message from the health department urging her 2 children to be tested.
I teared up. I'm just like, I feel sick to my stomach. This is just not okay. They're children, they're little babies.
At drop-off this morning, parents with children who weren't directly affected were grappling with the situation.
My first reaction as a parent was disgust, to be honest. You know, when you take your child to daycare, you'd expect it to be one of the safest environments.
I'm a little concerned, but I also trust the centre and the management.
I guess everyone's kind of asking the same question, how does that happen?
It's a question the Victorian government is trying to answer, announcing an urgent 6-week review into childcare safety that will consider if CCTV should be installed at centres around the state.
I know Victorian parents are feeling angry and deeply distressed by these allegations. I feel that too. And that's why my government will take every action possible, as soon as possible, to strengthen safety standards.
The government was warned by the state's ombudsman in 2022 to urgently strengthen its Working with Children's check, identified as among the weakest in the country.
The government failed to act. We have a now glaring hole in our Working with Children's check system.
Trust in a system broken by alleged abhorrent acts. Danny Tran, ABC News, Melbourne.
Oh yes, about 20 different centers. Yes, that dude is the reason they found the first one. The reason 12,000 kids have to be tested is because he put his bodily fluid. Are you? You're telling me this little fucking weasel put his bodily fluids in their food? Are you? Oh, I'm so upset. Oh my God. What's his name? I forgot his name. What's his name? I forgot his name. Was it Dale? Is this the picture of the second guy?
Yes, this is why I switched to injection.
Well, not that, but Joshua. Fuck you, Joshua. Piece of shit. I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed.
Simon Wilson, the second alleged pedophile charged in connection to Victoria's horrific.
This is Simon. Fuck you, Simon, you piece of shit. I'm so pissed. I'm pissed. I am. I'm just. You know what? Eye for an eye. I always say an eye for an eye. These two low-life weasels, great, innocent little kids. An eye for an eye. I always say an eye for an eye. An eye for an eye. Just an eye for an eye. Look at you. Oh, it doesn't let me zoom in on his picture.
Michael Simon Wilson, the second alleged pedophile charged in connection to Victoria's horrific child abuse.
Simon, fuck you, and Joshua. Simon doesn't have links to the child care centers, but he's done his own shit. Oh my God.
Investigation has been unmasked. It comes as allegations against childcare worker Joshua Brown could be wider than first thought, with one parent revealing new information about his work history. Ollie Haig has today's developments.
This is Michael Simon Wilson, an accused pedophile known to childcare suspect Joshua Brown, according to police. He's been charged with 45 offences, including rape, possessing child abuse material and bestiality. The 36-year-old is not a childcare worker, and his alleged offending is separate.
Bestiality? Did she just say bestiality?
5 offences, including rape, possessing child abuse material and bestiality. The 30.
Oh my God. He's a sicko. He's disgusting. He's a scum. Look at you. Oh my God. You Napoleon looking ass. Let me shut up and let this play.
36-year-old is not a childcare worker, and his alleged offending is separate to Brown, but police have linked them to the same investigation. And this is the epicentre of it, Creative Gardens Early Learning Centre in Point Cook. 70 charges laid against former worker Joshua Brown relating to 8 alleged victims. Police now investigating if any alleged abuse occurred at 19 other facilities he worked at since 2017. But given he was a casual worker, revelations the scope of this case may be larger than previously thought. A concerned mother has told Nine her child attended Papilio Early Learning in Essendon. On an official list circulated this week, it was claimed he worked there between February and May this year. But the mother immediately recognised the accused face in the media, despite her daughter attending in October and November in 2024. I went through the daycare app, looking through past uploaded pictures, and found him in my daughter's class on 3 separate dates from last year. Those dates weren't on the Victoria Police list, she said. I feel ill and guilty. She since reported this to Crime Stoppers and the National Hotline. It comes as families already impacted weigh up their legal options.
About a dozen families have contacted our firm seeking to understand what their legal options will be.
Arnold Thomas and Becca Lawyers says a $5,000 payment available to families of the 1,200 children who were referred for infectious testing is not enough. The law firm believes civil action could result in big payouts.
It is potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in compensation.
There's also the potential for class action.
So if a large group arise out of one childcare centre, there's certainly the potential for a class action associated with that.
While males only make up a small percentage of the childcare workforce, there are now calls for them to be phased out of the sector altogether. A survivor advocacy group believes that should be a priority.
It is extreme for one, but the thing is we're now seeing this is the third case of huge amounts of children being exposed.
I don't think this is about gender. This is about child safety.
The Federal Education Minister promising change, revealing he has a personal connection to what happened.
One of my best friend's daughters is caught up in this, 2 of her little girls.
She's burning with rage. We haven't done enough and we haven't done it fast enough.
Okay, let's go live now to Ollie at Treasury Place. Ollie, the Premier has just announced who is going to lead this child safety review.
She has, Alicia, former South Australian Premier Jay Weatherill and Victorian public servant of 30 years, Pamela White. They both have been announced as the duo who will lead this urgent review. They'll be tasked with looking at immediate actions that the government can take, things like CCTV in childcare facilities, as well as learnings from other states and territories. The Premier has given them until August 15 to turn all of this information around. And Alicia, the Premier today confirmed that her government will adopt all of the recommendations and roll them out as quickly as possible. Alicia.
Okay, Ollie Haig, thank you.
Turning our school project into
They're already banning males from changing nappy areas, banning all phones and tablets from employees of child care centers. I think they need to have camera footage, and they need to have PD in the daycares, because my God, this boils my blood. This makes me just want to go and strangle the little weasel. I'm pissed. I'm beyond pissed. So here's another one. Child care worker charged with more than 70 offenses. Before we get into that, I got an update on the flooding. Apparently, as of 14 minutes ago, at least 25 people have been killed with the flooding. Another one is... Oh, I lost it. Hold on. Okay. So it says at least 24 to 25, including children, have been killed in the mass casual in the flooding that happened. So this is updated right now. 24 to 25 are at least dead. More than 22 are now missing. The ages and identities are unknown, but at least one of the victims, okay, we talked about it, was the camp director. Tomorrow when we go live, we're going to go live tomorrow too, and we're going to talk about the boy in the box. We'll talk more about the flooding if there's any updates, but I want to see this.
Adele, thanks for coming in to talk about this. I think what people want to know this evening is...
Oh, wait, I'm just seeing y'all's comments. CCTV will be impelled, but big debates whether men should be in these kind of roles. Well, it depends too. Like, some women as well, they do like grape young kids as well. There's a daycare on Facebook I saw like 2 weeks ago. I don't know if it's on my Discord. I have to find it, where it's just a group of like older women. They're workers, and there's a video of one of the workers showing another worker where she's slapping the kid and forcing the baby. He's only like 2 years old. She's literally putting her whole fist in the baby's mouth. He's a 2-year-old. To eat, and he's crying because he doesn't want to eat, and she's slapping him to make him like choke, like to make him eat it. And the other kids are crying too because like they're yelling at them, they're screaming at them. There was another one where these young girls, they work at a daycare, and it was Halloween, and they're wearing like scary masks, and they're scaring the kids. They're pulling them by the arm, they're pulling their hair, they're doing all these things to make them scared, and they're telling them, if you don't shut up and be quiet, we're going to put the mask on and we're going to hit you and do this and that. It's a lot. I have to find it. I think we even talked about it like in my earlier streams of the 2 girls who were arrested because they were abusing kids at daycare. There's a lot of daycare things that go on. There's some even behind closed doors. that we don't even know about. And I want to do a stream dedicated to that and like resources and things like that involving the daycare system, because like, you know, you work, you don't have babysitters who can watch your kid. Even at that, you can't trust certain family members, because now look at fucking Stephen Stearns. He raped Madeline Soto. Look at like all these other kids who were being babysat by like their uncle, their aunt, their aunt, their brother, their sister, and they were raped. Like, it's scary. You can't leave your kid anywhere. Hell, even the freaking parents are like abusing them. They're raping them. They're letting men rape them. They're letting women go and rape them. Like, you can't, basically, it's hard to leave your kid anywhere at this point. Even adults, even elderly. There's even reports of elderly who are in the kind of like the not like the old folks home, but like the elderly home care, and they're being raped by the workers. They're being abused by the workers. You in this world, you can't do shit because there's a lot of scary stuff that's going on. You can't leave even your animals. There's people that freaking rape your animals. Like, there's people who abuse your animals. We talked about the girl who hit the little dog for no reason. I have neighbors down the street who whip their dog and let their dog run loose, skin to bone. I've called dog catchers to come and pick up these dogs, and they don't want to do that. Like, they let these dogs run free. So here I am feeding these dogs, and when I catch these neighbors, they're going to hear it from me. Like, bro, feed your dogs. Don't be abusing your dogs. If you didn't want them, why'd you get them? Shoot, I'll take the dogs. Yeah. In schools too, like elementary schools, middle schools, high school, colleges, you can't go anywhere in this world because there's so much like things going on. Yes, not all men, and yes, some women do this too. Yeah, there's some good people out there in the world. I'm not saying, I mean, there is a lot of bad people, but there is some good people. I hate those videos. I seriously hurt someone if I see that. It's sad. I was going to do a live this weekend on it, like different cases involving things like that. But I ended up doing The Boy in the Box tomorrow. And then next weekend, I think it's Casey Anthony and somebody else. I forgot who it was. And men are important as positive role models. Yeah. But as this story was breaking a few days ago, a teacher in my town was getting sentenced to 7.5 years for touching 3 kids at Prima? What? Oh, primary school, elementary school. That's where you meant. What the hell? Yeah, it's crazy. Look at Madeline Soto. When we did the Madeline Soto case, I think they arrested a teacher, and I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, her art teacher, because they had I don't know if they had material of SM or they did something, but it's crazy out there. This world is freaking crazy.
Beyond these facts that we've heard from the police today in Melbourne, looking across Australia, are Australian children safe in childcare centres?
I don't believe they are at the moment. If you look across at the data, at least one report a day of sexual misconduct comes from childcare centres, which is a heck of a lot. And if you have a look at in New South Wales in October, 3 people were charged with sexual assault of children. 1 is now in jail.
Now, one thing that I want to be able to understand, if you're working in a childcare centre, can you be with children alone and unsupervised? Is that allowed?
It's not meant to be allowed. There's meant to be 4 eyes on a child at any time. If you take a child to the bathroom, there's meant to be 4 eyes on the child. But clearly it's not happening when you're seeing so many cases across the country over the years. You wonder what's happened. You know, the case of Ashley Griffith, he was in childcare centres for 20 years, many, many childcare centres, and he had a tripod and was filming kids. So where's the supervision?
So you spent a lot of time over recent months looking at records, particularly in New South Wales. So what are those records showing us about? You've mentioned some of the cases, but how widespread a problem is this?
Yeah, so looking at, I've had access to tens of thousands of regulatory documents, and it shows childcare centres over the last few years, and there are so many of them where there are expired working with children's checks, no working with children checks at all, or educators that have got no clue what a childcare protection policy is or who to report wrongdoing to, which is alarming.
So tell me this, if you want to get a job in a childcare centre, actually how easy is it? How much scrutiny is there of both your background, your history, and the rightness for you to have that position?
It's very easy to get into childcare. There is a worker shortage of 20,000 educators, and so centres are just desperate to get people. And all you need to do is start a Certificate 3, and within weeks you can be placed in a childcare centre and have access to kids.
But what about working with children checks? Are they not? Is that not sufficient scrutiny to check up on who's coming in to work in childcare centres?
No, it's not, because there's a lot of slipping through the cracks. So in terms of working with children checks, everybody has to have one. But if, for example, you're in the ACT and you're being investigated and you're suspended, you can hop across to a state such as New South Wales or Victoria, and because of privacy issues, you can just get a working with children's check here and off you go.
Are you saying that someone can actually do something wrong, can mistreat a child, and if they're not criminally charged, there's no national register?
There's no national register.
Is there a move to bring one in?
Well, there's been a lot of calls for it, but there doesn't seem to be any move at this point.
And one thing I wanted to ask you, when you've been in to talk about your investigations into this sector recently, you've talked a lot about the four-sector profit. Now, I'm not talking about this case today, but do you think that is part of this problem? You've talked about standards in childcare. When it comes to the actual mistreatment of children, does the for-profit element of childcare make a difference?
I think you can't ignore the fact that you've got 75% of childcare centres now are for profit, and they're putting profit before safety and care. And so there's a gaming of supervision. You're meant to have a certain ratio of child to teachers, and that's not happening.
Now, we're hearing the Prime Minister talk a lot about childcare. He talks about wanting it to be his legacy when he leaves office. There's lots of money going into providing new childcare places, which we know are needed, but are we moving too fast? Are the standards too low for the speed at which we're going to get more childcare places available?
What the Prime Minister is focusing on is affordability. He's really ignoring safety.
So what's next? What should happen?
At the very least, there needs to be a childcare commission set up that's national. There needs to be better enforcement. There needs to be better resources for the regulators. But I also think there needs to be a commission of inquiry or a royal commission, because the sector is in crisis and it needs to be fixed.
All right. Adele Ferguson, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you just look at the Court Authority of South Australia, a third of them are for SA offenders. What the hell? That's our court page. He didn't have a record, though. Harsher punishment. Yeah, definitely harsher punishment. I don't know. Do you guys do the death penalty over there? I would give them the death penalty. I mean, she basically said what I was going to say. They're choosing profit over the safety of their kids. They're caring more about the money than to up the safety for these children. You're not supposed to be alone with a kid. You're supposed to have supervision. But if you're working with perverts, or you're working with people that don't care, or if you threaten them, or if you pay them off, they're not going to say anything. They're going to let you do what you're going to do. And then she mentioned someone, he took a whole tripod to film himself. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Now, this one is from an attorney. PDF file caught for material made at my daughter's daycare. So I'm assuming his daughter went to this daycare. I'm only gonna play a little bit of it just because I don't want to get copyrighted. But I do want to come back and talk about this, like this daycare thing going on in Australia and much more. And I kind of want to email this guy and see if I can play his the whole video. But I'm gonna play some of it You have no death penalty? What the heck? I'd be crushed. Yeah, me too. South Australia, as of April this year, have increased the penalties for repeat offenders. What the hell? We're going to have to do a live stream dedicated to Australia. Dang. I'm going to play some of it, and then I'm going to message him and be like, yo, can I play your whole stream on my stream? I'll give you credit. I'm going to give him credit right now, just in case he does copyright strike me. Follow attorney Aussie Overlord. Shout out to Janelle who sent me this. Is there a volume? Oh, is it loading? And okay, there we go. Maybe if I up the speed. I see some streamers who like stream other streamers and they up the speed so they don't get copyright. Maybe if I do that. Up to life in jail? Dang, that's crazy. I like his kangaroo. I'm not gonna lie. That's cool.
So I'm not even using OBS for this. I've got the guardrails on and I'm using StreamYard. The last 36 hours have been quite a bit of a whirlwind. I've had to have conversations with my daughter that no parent should ever have to have, let alone with a 6-year-old. And I've since come to find out that everything that's known about the current situation has been known by police since at least the 12th of May, and they've only just advised parents of exactly what happened yesterday. What's worse is they only notified the parents of the 8 kids that were able to be identified from the images last week. For those of you that don't know, Little Lady Overlord was in daycare pretty much from the day she was 9 months old. That was a combination of health issues with myself and Lady Overlord, and then the fact that I was working my ass off with my law firm and Lady Overlord was working in the city. And we wanted her to be able to socialize with other kids, which we just didn't really feel like we were able to do on our own. And all this has led is to me coming to the conclusion that I failed as a parent. And realizing that there are depths at the bottom of my stomach that no man should ever have to tread. A 26-year-old, not that it matters, gay male childcare worker was arrested yesterday. No, sorry.
Was he gay? Did he just say he was gay? As long as you add your commentary, you should be okay. Okay, good. I agree with him. Kids should never have to have that talk. Yeah, she was 6 years old. He talked to her. She's 6 now, I'm assuming, but she was at. I think he said when she was 9 months old, she was in daycare, and you can tell he's hurt. He's distraught, and it is true. It's hard. You never want to have a talk with a kid that age, hell, let alone any kid, about, hey, we need to go get you tested because you might have an STD, because you don't know it. But the way sex offenders say it is like, when parents try to explain it, the way like sex offenders say it is, when Joshua was playing tickling with you, that's bad. You're not supposed to let anyone tickle you in your private parts. You're not supposed to have anyone touch you in your private parts. In the Madeline Soto case, when I was doing my research, I didn't put it in there. I should have put it, but I had to look it up without the FBI coming for me. But they said that SA offenders, usually when they tell kids and I don't want to talk about this, but when they tell kids, like, you know, when they're gonna go and assault kids, they usually tell them, let's play a game of Twister, let's play a game of footsies, let's play a game of tickling, let's play a game of like mommy and daddy does. You know, it's disgusting how these sex offenders are. They're disgusting. They're the scum of the earth. They're a piece of shits. They're people that walk around and you don't even know about it. I mean, it could be, I'm not saying it is, it could be your neighbor. They hide in plain sight. It could be your school, your kid's teacher. It could be their counselor, their principal, their teacher, their summer camp counselor, their summer camp director. It could be even, they're everywhere. They're just very silent. They're very quiet. They're very nonchalant. They don't show themselves. They don't draw attention to them. It's disgusting how they can walk the earth. It's not just men, it's also women. And it's apparently now, I didn't know, gays. Apparently he was gay, this guy. Not the lawyer, but the guy. The little weasel who did this. Excuse me. I watched this live. She was in daycare with the guy. Oh my God. And was one of her faves. Oh my God. Oh wow. Oh my God. Jeez, it's crazy. You know, like, I Googled it without the FBI trying to come for me. I like to dig deep into research without the FBI coming for me, because you have to be, when you look things up, you have to be very precise of what you put when you're looking things up. But I Googled some of it, and some of the most common cases that pop up when it comes to children being raped is family members. Usually when it comes to the women, like, for example, Madeline Soto, how she was raped by Stephen Stearns. They usually say women, the mothers, sometimes they know. In my offense, Jennifer Soto, I'm still going to say it, Jennifer Soto knew. Fuck Jennifer Soto too. But usually they say women, when they let men rape their children, is because of many reasons. And the main three is, one, they don't want to do the sexual acts that these men want them to do. So they say, hey, here's my kid. You can do it to my kid. My kid's not going to know what it is. We'll just say you're playing with them. You're, from what they say, you're tickling them. You're even like Christian, like even churches too, do it too. Like there's reports of sexual assault in churches as well. But they usually say like, oh, you're playing the birds and the bees, or, oh, you're doing what mom and dad do. Like, no. Another one is the parents grew up in an environment like that. So for example, let's say the mom was raped when she was young, so she thinks it's okay for her daughter to go through the same thing as well. Another one is they despise the kids. They don't like the kids. They don't like how the kids get attention. So usually that's where other males come involved. Like, for example, the boyfriends, their step cousin, stepfather, whatever the case may be. Another one is sometimes it's disgusting. I hate to say this, but sometimes even the mothers or the fathers join in these horrendous acts because it's a pleasure and it's disgusting. They think that you can do that. No, you cannot do that. That's disgusting. I don't get how, and my mom has always said this, always has said this. You only get one chance. Some women don't get no chance in having kids, and you carry them in your belly. You feel them kick for 9 months, and for you, after all those 9 months, you birth them. You go through the most traumatic thing in your life when you birth them, because even some women pass away when they're going to get ready to push out their kid. And you let disgusting men, do these horrendous acts to your kids. You abuse your kids. You do all these terrible things to your kids. My mom has always said this. If you are okay with these horrendous things happening to your kids, you shouldn't have kids. You should close your legs and get on birth control. I mean, now looking back at it as like an adult, I can see why she's always said it, because I mean, it is true. I mean, you birth your kid. There's some women out there who don't even have a chance at having kids. And women who do have kids, some of them do take advantage and they let these horrendous acts happen to their own kids, and it's disgusting. It's cruelful. It's heartless. If I ever catch one in the streets, I will beat their ass. Like, I hate hearing stories about children that are abused, animals, dogs. I have a really like big heart for everyone. So hearing like things like this, where like this man thought he can trust this daycare, because mind you, there's people who are single who don't have people to watch them. There's both parents who work. They don't have no one to watch their kid. They don't have grandma who can come and watch their kid. Even at that, you can't sometimes trust grandma, because there's reports of grandparents abusing their grandkids, whether it's sexually or physically. There's even some that sell their grandkids, like in Mexico. Like, it's crazy. But, you know, he thought he can trust his daycare. And sadly, hearing this news, and now he has to tell his 6-year-old daughter, you have to go get tested because you might have an STD, because this man, this disgusting gay man, is a freaking pervert. He can't keep his weenie in his pants. That's disgusting. That's very disgusting. It's disgusting. Did I say it's disgusting? It's disgusting. Let the parents have 5 minutes alone with him? Yeah. Heck yeah. At the end, she comes in and he goes off camera and chats with her for a couple of minutes. It's sad. I think she knew too. Yeah, Jennifer Soto knew. He reads some article further in his life. This is before it came out about the food, but there was reports of spreading bodily fluid. I can't remember how it was worded. Agree with your mom. Yeah. The fact that he put his bodily fluid, that's disgusting. That's very disgusting. Like, bro, you are a gay man. You can go find yourself a partner out in the world. You don't need to go to kids. But that's another thing too. They usually say sex offenders, they get I guess like no women or men like them, so they go for kids, because I hate to say this, but from a SA offender themselves, they said kids are the most easiest and most vulnerable and most purity victims that they can go to. The most ones that they choose is babies from birth, literally right out the womb. If you've heard of the baby Brianna case, that is the most devastating case that I've heard, unless there's another one in the United States. Now, baby Brianna, she was abused from the day she was born, literally when she came out the womb to, I think she was 5 or 6 months old. She was abused. She was raped, they say, by her own father, by her mother, and by her mother's brother. It's disgusting. These sex offenders are nasty. They said it. There was an interview I saw on TikTok where a SA offender came out and said that sometimes they like get the urge. Sometimes it's like they just get an urge just to like go and rape a kid, because a kid's not going to tell nobody. You can bribe them with money. You can bribe them with candy. You can do whatever you want to a kid. They're not going to say nothing. And it's disgusting. Some men say they do it out of pleasure. They do it they have mental health issues. They don't know what they're doing. You know what the fuck you're doing. You're a fucking grown-ass man. Don't hit me with that fucking mental health issues. You know what you're doing. You're a grown-ass man. You know what the hell you're doing. Even women say it as well. They get fantasies. Even women, there's a teacher who came out pregnant by a 14-year-old student. You'd be surprised by the stories that come out. There is women who try to get pregnant by 12-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 9-year-olds. Like, there's even, like, who was that one kid that, it was like a famous case where the teacher had and had intercourse with the child, and she had her baby. Was it, oh, what's her name? She was a teacher. It was like way back when. It happened here in the United States. It was, why am I thinking, what's her name? They made a documentary of her. I think he was 13 years old when he became a father, and the mother was mad. Is it Sue? No, it's not Susan. There's a few women. Oh yeah, I can't remember. What's her name? God. He was 12. She went to jail. He raised the kid. Then she got out. Yes, that one. Yeah, that one. Yes. That one. Exactly. Oh, what's her name? What's her name? I can't remember her name, but that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. He was 12. They had intercourse. She got pregnant. She had the baby, went to jail. He raised the baby. They got married. I don't know if she passed away. I don't know. I don't know her name to look her up. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I don't know her name. But I remember I think they did an interview of him, and they asked him how he felt about when they were having all these like secret intercourse. And he said it felt cool. It felt like he thought it was cool. He thought he was only like 12 or 13, but he looked like he was 15 or 16 because he had like mustache and everything. Like, but they loved each other. LOL. Yeah. Okay, sure. She groomed him. Yeah, they did say they loved each other. Yeah. I have to find it. He said it was cool, and then later on they said they loved each other. But he only said it was cool because he wanted to outdo his friends and be like, oh, I lost my virginity at 12, you know? But she groomed him. And there's some, even, I looked it up, I think besides baby Brianna, the youngest one would be 1 year old, and it was a little boy. It's so sad. I see these cases pop up on like my For You page on TikTok. And I'm like, oh my God. And I like go through like a rabbit hole of these cases. And the more I look in these cases, the more I see how disgusting a SA offender's brain works. Like literally, it's so disgusting. Like these ex-offenders are disgusting. These pedophiles are disgusting. Like, there you go. Mary Kay. There you go. Mary Kay Letourneau. Is she alive? Let's see. I was thinking of the makeup cosmetics, you know, Mary Kay, but I was like, I don't think that's her name. Yeah, she passed away in 2020. This chick. This one. I think his name was what was the kid's name? There you go. Billy? I cannot say that last name. Don't ask me to say that last name. Yeah, they had a daughter. Or they had more kids. Well, they had a lot of kids, I'm guessing. No, I think she had kids with, I think she had a husband. So I think she had kids with her husband, and I think she had 2 with Billy. Absolutely disgusting. I had to Google it. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's her name. Oh my God. Yeah, it's her. Yeah. Mary Kay is disgusting. This is her, all right. The more cases I see of kids being like actually assaulted, the more I see like different ways ex-offenders think, the more ways they hide in plain sight. Pretty soon, maybe tomorrow, I don't know yet. I still want to do the boy in the box tomorrow, but I kind of want to talk about like different cases, and I want to tell you like how you can look out for ex-offenders and how they act and things like that. Because I'm telling you, I see these cases pop up on my like TikTok every day. And every day I have so many questions. I'm like, why do sex offenders do this? Like, why are sex offenders so disgusting? Why are pedos so nasty? And ChatGPT tells me why. And I'm like, whoa, I can't do Google because, like, I don't want the FBI to knock on my door. I mean, I'm not putting nothing disgusting. I just put, like, why do ex-offenders think they're that way? Like, I'm just like, why? Like, you know, we always get, like, the same thing. They don't talk. They don't know. They get the urge. They're going through mental health crisis. They try to blame the kids and be like, oh, the kids threw themselves on me. Like Stephen Stearns, he said it himself. He tried to blame Maddie Soto and was like, oh, Maddie threw herself on me. Back up, bro. You threw yourself on Maddie. And Jennifer Soto let you because she didn't give two shits. Like, let's back it up here. You were disgusting since you were young. Like, back it up. You're telling me, because like, let's go to baby Brianna's case. You're telling me baby Brianna, right as she came out the womb, you're telling me an infant little baby threw herself on you? And I can see the fucking color, and I'm the color purple, right? How stupid does that sound? They sound so stupid. Like, they're so stupid. No kid, they're so stupid. Like, yeah, she passed away in 2020. Yeah, like, these, and some of them are getting smart. I've looked it up and I've seen it. And these new patterns, these new pedos, these new ex-offenders that are starting to emerge are becoming smarter. They're becoming real smart, and that's what's scary when it comes to it, because now when it went to I don't know what that was. Somebody is shooting outside thinking that they're fireworks. I'm about to call PD. But like, they're getting very smart. They're hiding in plain sight. Now, the newer generations coming in, more true crimers are coming out. A lot of pedophiles, a lot of ex-offenders are starting to hide in plain sight. There's a documentary I want you guys to watch on Netflix. It's called Hidden in Plain Sight. That documentary is crazy. Hidden in Plain Sight is crazy. I remember when it came out and I saw it, I was like, oh my God. Like, and the girl actually comes out and she talks about her experience now as an adult and how she was like going through it. So basically, it's a girl. She was raped by her neighbor, and basically her parents, they didn't know because the neighbor was having a swinger party with her parents. So he was using the swinger party to get to the daughter, and the parents didn't know because they were under his little spell. And I was like, what? Like, it was crazy. Let me look it up. Oh, shit. I didn't take off Mary Kay. God dang it. Hidden in Plain Sight is what it's called. It's on Netflix. I think it's still on Netflix. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Abducted in Plain Sight. My bad. I thought it was Hidden in Plain Sight. It's Abducted in Plain Sight. I'm sorry. Is it Abducted? No. I swear it was Hidden in Plain Sight. It was about... What is it called? Oh, it's Abducted in Plain Sight. Yeah. I think her name was Jan, if I'm not mistaken. Jane? No, Jan. There you go. Yeah. Jan. Yeah. She was abducted. She was not abducted, but the parents knew she was with him, but he used to rape her. Like, It's crazy. You need to watch it. Jan Borbig. This one. She was kidnapped like 2 different times. And I'm like, this one. Abducted in plain sight. Did I say abducted? I think I said hidden. It's abducted in plain sight. My bad. They're stupid. I think I watched part of it and never went back to finish it. Yeah, you have to watch it. Even like, you can't trust anybody nowadays. You can't trust your neighbor. You can't trust your family. You can't even trust your freaking, if you go to church, you can't trust your preacher either. I mean, there's been cases of sexual assault happening in churches. Like, you can't go anywhere. Like, literally, you can't go anywhere. You can't trust even like some of your family. Like, I'm not saying your family is bad, but you can't trust family members either, because look at all the different family members that grape their nieces and nephews, their sisters, their brothers. Like, it's crazy. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow we can do that. I do have the boy in the box plan, though. We'll see. I might change topics for tomorrow and talk about Kate like that. Oh, snappers. What did I click? Big time in churches. I'm not a church goer. I used to be when I was younger, but my mom never put me in those Sunday schools, you know, like when the kids would go to the Sunday schools and they would be alone with like older kids. My mom never put me in that. And I think my mom was smart. My mom knew, my mom, even when like my sisters were born, she always kept a close eye on us. She never let us go to a friend's house. She never let us be around grown adults without her being there. When we were at school, she would walk us to inside the school and she would tell us like if we told her anything, or if something, we came home with a scratch, or if we came weird, she would come to the school and yell at them and press charges. Our mom would always ask us, like, you know, if someone's not supposed to touch you there, you know, don't do this. Even when I was a teenager, when I was like, you know, we're teenagers, you know, we do stupid stuff. My mom would always be like, don't sleep around, you know, don't do that. You know, make good choices. Don't do this, don't do that. And I was a teenager. I was like, why are you telling me that? I don't want to hear you say that. You know, leave me alone. Like, when it came to friends, going to hang out with friends, my mom would be like, I'm going to go with you. And I'm like, leave me alone. I want to go by myself. My friends, moms don't go with them. But as an adult, I see why she would do that. Because she wanted to make sure me and my friend were okay and no creeps were with us, would harm us. Mama knew. Because my grandma was the same way with her. My grandma made sure my mom and all her siblings were good. Never have been. My parents used to be as young kids, but when their families immigrated here, they stopped going. I used to go when I was little. I used to go with my grandma to church because I used to stay with my grandma when my mom used to go to work. My mom was a single mom, so our childcare was my grandma, and my grandma lived with us. So my grandma would take us to church when we were younger. Well, I was the only one that went. My sisters didn't go because they were at school, in college, or they were working. But me, because I'm the youngest, I would go with her. My grandma always kept me around her. Like, if I had to go to the bathroom, my grandma would go with me because my mom would tell her, like, don't leave her without your sight. Because 1, I live in the South Side. There's a lot of kidnapping. 2, I live in the South Side. There's a lot of creepy men. 3, I live in the South Side. Like, there's a lot of gangs. 4, I live in the South Side. You can tell the place I live in is a dangerous place. Even when I was younger, it wasn't bad as it is now. But it was. I never went to Sunday school. I never did a communion. Your mom went through communion as an Irish Catholic and dad was Church of England. Really? I never did communion. And I know you're supposed to, I think. I never did a communion when I was little. And when I had my 15, they say you're supposed to. I didn't. I never did. So I guess if I get married, I guess I have to go to one. I don't know how that works. I don't know. I'm not really a churchgoer. Like when I was little, I would just go because my grandma made me go with her. Until like one day she's like, we're not going no more. And I was like, okay, good. Like, but I believe in the Lord and the saints and all that. I'll pray and everything, but I just don't go to church. So please don't get mad at me for that. Yeah. But nowadays, like, you can't even go to church because some of them scam you. Some of them just want your money. Like, I remember when we would go to church, they would ask us for donations. And if you didn't have donations, they would shun you at the next service. So one time my grandma didn't have money, and I remember next time we went, they shunned her. I think that's why we never went back, because I think they shunned her. Like, they didn't want her in the church. But I used to love going, not to church, but I used to love going because afterwards we would go eat, and I would go eat like my bean and cheese tacos at my like favorite little restaurant when I was little. Now I don't go to church, but if I do go to church, I want to go to a church that actually preaches and is not scammy. Like, those are hard to find here where I live. LOL, religion isn't necessary for a happy life. I heard that a lot, yeah. I heard that a lot. Like, was it Joel Osteen? Is that the guy? Or there was a church here in Texas or somewhere where in the walls they found like money inside the walls. Was that Joel Osteen's church, or was that somebody's church? It was like a big church where like they found money inside the church wall. I'm pretty sure it was Joel Osteen's church. I don't know. I heard about it like a long time ago, but I don't know. I think the last time I went to church, when was the last time I went to church? The last time I went to church would have to be when my uncle passed away almost a year ago. That was the last time I went to church. Like, you know how they do like the what is it, like the rosary? And then they do like the burial. Okay, that was the last time I ever stepped in a church. Because prior to that, when my mom passed away, she had the rosary and the burial the same day. That's the only time I went to church, was when my loved ones passed away. But an actual church where you sat there on a Sunday for like 3-4 hours. I was 9. That was like, I'm 24. That was, let me do the math, because I don't know how to do it in my head so quickly. That was 15 years ago. Damn, I'm old. That was 15 years ago when I actually sat in a church all day. Well, not all day, but when they would go, I think it was like the 3 to 4 hour frame. I don't know. I forgot how long church lasts. But if you go to church, hey, I respect you. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate on nobody that goes to church. I don't. I mean, if you go to church, good for you. I hope you go to the church that don't scam you, because there are churches that are scamming. You know what I'm saying? A third of people in Australia are religious, but you wouldn't know here who is and who's not. The only schools that teach religion is the private schools. Here, we have Catholic schools. I don't know if our private schools teach religion, but I know the Catholic schools, they teach strictly religion, like by the book and everything. I went to a regular public school, they didn't teach us religious. Some colleges, we do have some colleges that are religious, and you do have to take a class of like Christianity. My sister went to I think it was here in Texas, it was Incarnate Word, University of Incarnate Word. And that one, she had to take a class of religious. I think St. Mary's University as well, you have to take a course of religion. There's some schools here in Texas that are universities that are religious that you do need to take a course of religion, of Christianity or whatever. I think they have like the different religions you can study. High school, public schools, we don't have that. They don't give that option to the public schools. It's more like the Catholic schools. Private schools, I don't know. It's crazy how everywhere is different. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just here in Texas. I know only in Texas. I don't know outside of Texas, like California, Florida, New York, stuff like that. I don't know how their school system works, but I just know here in Texas. But yeah, I think who was it that came out? Savannah Soto. Matthew Guetta's stepmom, Rachel, she actually went to a church that was a cult, and she didn't know it was a cult. You can't even go to churches because some of them are cults. Like that's another topic we get into about cults. I do want to do a live stream of cults, like the many different cults. It's crazy. What was I saying? Oh yeah, you can't trust. You always got to keep an eye out for people, just because, like, they're hidden in plain sight. These ex-offenders, these pedos, and they're getting very smarter. As the years go on, newer generations come out. Lots of true crimers are starting to come out, and they're starting to find out their ways. And now they're getting smarter in hiding their tracks. It's scary. But as the days go on, you can kind of, and as not the days, but as the cases come out, slowly you can start piecing together, this is how ex-offenders think, this is how pedos think, this is how they hide, this is what they look for, this is what they say. It's crazy. LOL, it's all a culty. And then just get hidden and move to another town. Yeah. So when a small town ex-offender, when they get caught, what they do is they move to a bigger city, they change their identity, they change their name, and they go on and pretend like their life never happened. And the small city is looking for this ex-offender that's on the run. But they move to big cities because they try to hide in plain sight and blend in with the rest of the crowd. And mind you, a ex-offender is always going to identify another ex-offender. Like, for example, Stephen Stearns. If Stephen Stearns was to leave Florida and go to like a small town, no one's gonna know who he is. They're just gonna think he's some guy that moved here out of town. Because let's say, for example, his family disowned him because, I don't know, let's just say like he moved to Florida because something happened, right? They go from he was in Osceola. It was kind of like it wasn't that big of a county, but big county ex-offenders move to small county because they try to blend in and get to know the crowd. So they try not to draw attention when they're more in smaller towns, because everybody knows everybody knows who you are. They're going to find out who he is. But by the time they find out who he is, he already dipped and moved to another town, a bigger town where nobody knows who he is because he changed his identity, he changed his name, everything. They're getting smart. Small towners, they do their crime. They move to the big city where there's other ex-offenders. They're going to hide in plain sight. People are going to think he's just some guy from, I don't know, New York who came to Texas because he came here for a quote-unquote job opportunity. and they're going to see him as a regular guy, but really he's a dangerous pervert, you know? And it's weird because I heard on TikTok from a trusted source that these pedos identify each other. They know when another person is a pedo, like just by the way they look. And us as people, we don't know that because we don't know what to look for. I mean, they look like regular people. They're not some gargoyle looking type of person. They don't look like the Make-A-Wish Napoleon guy we saw earlier. Like it's weird. Like they look like that one guy from the Gargoyles, the little statues. They don't look like those little statues that sit on top of the building. They don't look like Eeyore. They don't look like the Napoleon guy we just saw from Wish. They look like regular people. It's weird. Like they change their identity too, like from their hair color, their face features. They change their name. They change their ways. They change their they go to the point as to changing the tone in their voice. That's the craziest part. But the one thing you cannot change is your DNA. You can't change your fingerprint. Yeah, you can burn off your fingerprints, but you can't change your DNA. You can't change your blood. You can't change your bodily fluids. You can't change any of that. So they're not that smart yet. But with everything we have technology-wise, shoot, don't make an AI and find this guy. Like, it's crazy. We live in 2025 where technology can literally find almost anything. Like Agdar, yeah. Like, they think they're smart, but they are really not. Us true crimers are getting on their trails. It's crazy. All right. We're going on 3 hours, almost 4. We've been streaming since what? 7, I think, my time. Do I have anything to say? What is this? I don't know what that was. Okay. It's 11:47 my time. It's about to be Saturday in a couple of minutes for me. It's currently, I think, Sunday for Janelle. Tomorrow we are going live. We're going to talk about maybe The Boy in the Woods. Not The Boy in the Woods, The Boy in the Box. Or we're going to talk about what Janelle sent me of the 1,200 kids who have to get tested for STDs. I'm a little iffy. I'm 50-50 on what I want to talk about tomorrow. It's Saturday, 2:18 p.m. Dang! It's about to be Saturday for me in like 15 minutes. I don't know. I might do both. So tomorrow I have the Boy in the Box scheduled to talk about tomorrow. But I kind of want to talk about the 1,200 kids who have to get tested. And I kind of want to come back to that attorney's video and watch it. So I think we might have a double true crime feature tomorrow. 2 different cases. So yeah, I'll do that. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the Boy in the Box and the 1,200 kids in Australia who have to get tested for STDs. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. I'll be live 8:30 Central Time. Today I went live early because I had time. But tomorrow I'm going to go live at 8:30. And we're going to talk about those 2 topics. And then I'll give you an update if there's any on the flooding. I'm pretty sure there is going to be of the flooding that's happening now in Kerrville. As of now, it's still 24 to 25 fatalities, and they're still trying to rescue people. But this was fun. So tomorrow we have 2 different cases to talk about. We're going to talk about hopefully I'll be around, should be though, yeah. 8:30 Central Time. Or maybe 8. I'll I'll probably shoot for 8 o'clock Texas time if I have time. If not, I'll do the 8:30. Usually I set my lives like at 9:30, 9:40, just in case I'm busy. But I've been coming on a little bit earlier. So tomorrow we're going to talk about The Boy in the Box, America's Lost Child. And then we're going to talk about the story that Janelle sent us. So yeah. Yes. Have a great day and night. Be safe. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you all. Please be safe. 8:30, maybe 8 o'clock Central Time. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for my replay crew. You guys are the best. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.